From Sunday.
Bam, we're live. Did we change the name of it? Did it have a different name?
Not that I know.
Oh, then I may have linked to the wrong one on Rumble.
There were 2 shows up. I just deleted one of them.
Oh, shit. Well, that's the one I linked to on Rumble. Bam, we're live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It was a great name for the show. I loved it. Who's naming the shows?
That was me. I just named
it was awesome. It was like Welcome to Love and Light or so. I just loved it.
I am light, Love and Acceptance.
Yeah. Love and Acceptance show.
There's a little Easter egg in all those titles if nobody noticed. But
what's an Easter egg mean?
It's just like a little gift for somebody who figures it out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to start looking.
You mean they're all like song titles or something?
No.
Is it something like that though?
In the Urban Dictionary, they're all things that something in the Urban Dictionary.
No, it's not. It's not obscene. I'll give you that.
Like Dirty Sanchez. Jay Hartle, good morning. Omar Cornejo, good morning. Dale Spiegel, good morning. Sevan and Souza, 100 Hail Marys for you. Thank you. Oh, that'd be great if we had a little Tupac sound clip there. Elizabeth, good morning. Welcome. Puro Vatos Locos. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Jessica T just finished watching Hiller disrobe in his latest video. Oh, interesting. Okay. Be watching that tonight on this TV screen that's over my bed. I noticed, but not telling. Wow. Okay. Dick Butter spotting the psyop that Caleb's running. That's awesome. Jeff Bako, the ambiguous gay trio. Yes, we are here. We'll take it.
Perfect.
Good morning from Daytona. Yes, Shannon. Yes. Always in a bathing suit on Daytona Beach. And there she is. We can begin. Olivia. Is that how you would say her name? Would you say Olivia or would you always just say the O? Olivia.
Definitely Olivia.
Olivia. Jay Sizzle, old school SNL. Yes. When the show was good. I was thinking that I should I was too ambiguous speaking of gay yesterday, and I should actually pull up I should maybe pull up the video of the lady from HR. I was actually feeling really bad for all the people who work at HQ now. I finally, by HQ, I mean CrossFit HQ, for those of you who are CrossFitters. I was actually just thinking, remember, they used to say this when I worked there too. This isn't about one man, and this is about the methodology in the community. And now more than ever, I just see it's just completely wrong. I made a post on my Instagram the other day, and it was Dana White saying, we never do anything woke. And their mother company, WME, is woke as fuck. William Morris Endeavor out of Los Angeles. So the company that bought them is crazy woke, which is the thing about the people who aren't woke is they're not willing to bend on their ideology, right? The non-woke class, you shouldn't be able to buy them, right? Like we're not willing to be like, okay, we'll bend a little. You can have a little bit of pedophilia in California. Like we just have strong convictions, right? It's not like, okay, this company, you can force them to love the 49ers, but not this company. We're kind of closed-minded about the subject of freedom of speech and freedom of bodily autonomy. And this other group, man, they're willing to take money or bend or do anything. They don't have values, is what it comes down to. They don't have values. And I don't pass judgment on that other than it makes them purchasable, which means that they're basically willing to sell you out for $1, which means they're willing to let you die, right? They're okay with if someone can get rich forcing everyone to go to the 49ers games, and that means 3 people die in the parking lot in a fight, they're okay with it. They just don't have values. That's it. And in the end, they're okay if people die for them to make money. That's where it starts to get weird. Jay Hartle, the woke own everything. So woke is the same as being asleep. I'll give you an example. When I say to you, and it's important to give examples. When I say to you, I'm so proud of the diversity that I have established here at the Sevan Podcast. Our staff are so diverse, and we have a program that's inclusive and offers equity for everyone. And then the whole crowd cheers, right? That means you're woke, and that also means you're asleep. And then all the people in the audience who think that they know what I just said, they're all asleep too. And why is it that they're asleep? Because what happens is they have to go inside of their head and interpret what I just said, because I didn't actually say anything. So anytime you go inside your head, you're asleep. You're no longer present. You are asleep. So what they mean is then you could presume what they mean. When they say diverse, I would presume they meant we have hired someone who is the world's best football player. We've also hired a guy who's the world's best plumber, and we've hired the guy who has the world record in the Rubik's Cube. And because of those diverse backgrounds, we think that we're going to be able to provide you adequate services here at the water treatment plant in Santa Cruz, California. But that's not what they mean, probably. They mean that they didn't hire people based on their merit. The guy who does the Rubik's Cube the fastest, or the guy who's the best plumber in Santa Cruz, or the guy, they didn't. The guy who got straight A's at in molecular biology. They're not talking about that. But you have to guess what they're saying, because they're not even comfortable. They're not even comfortable really telling you what they mean. Oh my God, I'm so proud of what I did at Facebook. I hired a fucking midget who can take cock in his mouth, but he also has a cock. Check that box. I mean, that's literally what they mean, but they can't say it. And that shit is going on full steam ahead at CrossFit HQ. It's crazy. Hey, it's the kind of shit. I don't know if you used to do this when you used to sit around with your friends, but you're smoking weed with your friends in your college, and you're like, fuck, how did Japanese internment camps, how did that ever happen? Or, oh my God, how come no one in Germany stood up against the Nazis? How did that happen? That's what those people are doing right now in the United States. And people are going to look back at us and be like, how did that happen?
It was so obvious.
And then there's going to be people like 12 Daily Doses are like, oh no, it's not really happening. It's just really isolated incidents. There's a few bad apples in the bunch. Dude, think about this. They put fluoride in our water. Think about that. The entire country's water supply, someone thought it was a good idea to put chemicals in it under the guise of protecting your teeth. Just think about that for a second. And our parents went along with that. Our water supply. They put shit in our water supply. Why wouldn't they just fucking stop people from eating sugar? They already know what the cause is of the problem, but instead we allowed them to. And it's worse than that, actually. That fluoride doesn't even help your teeth. Check the research. Oh, it's worse than that, buddy. Unfortunately, it's fucking worse than that. Just openly, it's just straight up openly okay. Did you guys see the Don Lemon thing? Let's start with that. Will you guys, will someone just, I don't have a link to it. Will someone just Google Don Lemon destroyed? This is amazing. There's an Indian guy. I would say he's a black. To me, Indian dudes are just black dudes, but you do what you want. They're black dudes who make a lot of money. That's what Indian is to me. And I don't think that there's any other definition that necessarily is more valid than that either, by the way. As ridiculous as that sounds. I mean, I don't think that there's any check out Don Lemon just gets destroyed. Don Lemon openly admits to this Indian guy. Don Lemon is inappropriately racist to this guy. Is the guy's name Vivek? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you see this. This is crazy. This happened, I think, just recently, like 3 days ago. This guy's running for president of the United States,
GOP
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Candidate Vivek Ramaswamy got
Yeah.
But in a heated exchange with CNN's Don Lemon on gun rights for Black Americans. Watch.
Actually, you want to know, funny fact is, Black people did not get to enjoy the other freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that that's one of the lessons that we learned.
Aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I disagree with you on that, Don. I disagree with you. I think you're doing a
Pause that.
disservice to our country by failing to recognize the fact that we.
Okay, so there's a premise here that Vivek is making, that basically even after the slaves were set free, that there was someone else can look into this, but there was some stipulation that Black people still couldn't carry guns. And Vivek is saying it wasn't until the freedom, when the slaves were freed, it still didn't give them the full rights until they got the ability to carry guns. So there was some distinction. I haven't gone back and researched it, but I will. And I think there was some distinction that even though they made the slaves free, they didn't get to enjoy the Second Amendment. And Vivek was saying that the irony here is that they didn't really experience their freedoms until everyone knew that they could also be carrying guns. It makes complete fucking sense. Mm-hmm. Then he goes on to say, Don Lemon says, hey, people with melanated skin still aren't enjoying the freedoms that white people are in this country. Now, that's completely that's insane. Preposterous. Is that the word? Mm-hmm. Not only are people with melanated skin experiencing the freedoms that white people are, but on many levels they're experiencing greater freedoms. It's a whole, there's no, in tons of ways, in tons and tons of ways. I can think of 20 off the top of my head that I saw growing up in the Bay Area. For instance, jaywalking. White people are not allowed to jaywalk in the Bay Area. Black people are. It's been like that fucking for all the 40 years I lived there. White people aren't allowed to litter. Black people are. And I could go on and on. White people aren't allowed to drink on the streets. Black people are. Open container. White people have to wear seatbelts. Black people don't. I mean, I can go on and on. I've seen tons of examples of this where people who are Black are given more freedoms than white people. I can go on and on and on and on and on. And maybe white people, maybe it's just Black people are more determined to have those freedoms. Maybe if more white people jaywalked it, then they would be allowed to too. But I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. But the point is that it's fucking insane. But it's okay. I'm still glad that they're having the discussion. It's good. And Don Lemon, don't forget, he's a gay dude, and his ideology is to make sure that people with melanated skin or anyone always, Black privilege is huge. It's been here for years, and I have no issue with it. Kudos to him, but don't deny it. Don't lie about it. I have no issues with Black privilege. Don't fucking lie about it. Don't lie about it. Would I rather go to a twerk competition with the 30 Black girls or 30 white girls? I'll go with the 30 Black girls. Thank you. Yeah, it's just there's things Do I want to watch the white midget league play basketball or the tall Black guy league? Oh, that's tough. That was probably a bad example. But it's fucking Don Lemon it's a joke. He wants to hold Black people down so fucking bad. But it's kind of funny. When I lived with disabled people, and you can see the movie at 130 Film Festival Awards. It's on YouTube. It's called Our House. Incredible film that I made. First documentary I ever made. And the two retarded guys in the house are arguing about who's more retarded. And when I see this, I see two Black guys arguing about who's like. It's pretty funny. One of them is like, Black men are free and strong. And the other one's like, Black men are victims. It's great. It's fucking great. It's fucking.
Oh my goodness.
This is just fucking insane. Okay, go on. Don Lemon gets destroyed, by the way, here. So Don Lemon is basically saying that, hey, Black people don't have the same rights as white people in this country. No one has the same rights as anyone else, by the way. We are not created equal. The sooner you can accept that, the better. Me and Sousa are not created equal.
And rich people have a whole entire justice system.
Yes, exactly.
It's not even the same as yours and ours at all. And then if you go further lower on that spectrum, the homeless have a whole entire criminal justice system.
Yes, different. Yeah. They get all sorts of rights that we don't get.
Yep.
You think me and Susan and Caleb can camp on the street?
Illegal, just open drug use?
Yeah,
Cop
there's no fucking
by,
way.
just drives by? No way.
And for those of you science buffs, there's no gravity at the fucking molecular level. How's that? Okay, go on.
people
that we
still
learn.
aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I
as well
disagree
in
with
this
you
country.
on that, Don. I disagree with you. And I think you're doing a disservice to our country
Okay.
by failing to recognize the fact that we
when
have
you are
equality
in
before
black
the law.
skin and you live in this country, then you can disagree with me, but we're not. You mentioned in here that
I
we have
disagree.
3 different shades
Don, I
of
think we have to be
melanin
able to
here.
talk about these
Okay,
issues
pause
in the
this
open,
too.
regardless of the color of our skin.
In elementary school, the 2 black kids and me used to make fun of the Indian kid. And in junior high, the Indian kid who came from India, me and all the other kids made fun of him. His name was Anil. We called him Anal. Like, you think it's fun being fucking, you think it was fun being Vivek growing up as Vivek? You think that was cool? You think that's fun being a fucking scrawny little fucking Indian kid who eats fucking rice with one fucking hand and wipes his ass with his other and everyone in fucking your school knows it? You think it's fun being like dark as a black dude, but you're not black and you're not white? Your mom wears fucked up weird colored dresses. Like she looks like she just came from a rave.
You get the shit end of both sticks there too.
Yeah.
You get the worst
A
of the
fucking
worst.
fun being a fucking Indian kid. They have the largest dongs of all ethnicities, and yet no one knows it. They don't even get credit for it. The giant skinny dong ethnicity. All their people back in their homeland, their fucking half their country's homes are made out of fucking cow dung. Crazy town banana pants. Funny hearing a black dude and Indian dude arguing like this. Good on Vivek for fucking having a backbone and going full steam. Correction. We are watching Sevan watch YouTube clip of Fox News watching CNN. Damn you good. That is more important. What Tom said is more important than probably most people realize. That is crazy, crazy important. There's an artist named Magritte, and he would draw a picture of a pipe, and he would say, "This is a drawing of a picture of a pipe." It's some pretty profound shit. It's cool shit. Okay, proceed.
Part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man, but me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
You're
That's what I
sitting
think we should
here,
see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me.
Okay, pause. There it is. You see it? Whatever ethnicity you are. First of all, does anyone here think African American is an ethnicity? Look, will you look up at ethnicity? That is not a fucking ethnicity. African American is not a fucking a Somali is a nationality and an ethnicity. Armenian is an ethnicity. Mexican, they claim it's an ethnicity, although it's fucking on shaky ground. Ethnicity, the quality of fact of belonging to a population, a group, or subgroup made up of people who share a common cultural background. That's not African American. They do not get an ethnicity.
That's a politically correct term, isn't it?
Yeah, they do not get an ethnicity. Splaining. You know what that was when he said splaining? Yeah, exactly. Condescending. Yes, exactly. That's woke talk, splaining.
And I like how
which is different than ebonics.
I like how he can't tell him how the point of view or life that he's lived, but Don Lemon could explain how everybody else has more privilege than him, and he's okay to talk about those experiences not being that race, but you can't explain it back to him. And he doesn't even understand that. He doesn't even get it.
Right.
He doesn't understand that he's doing the same thing he's claiming someone can't do back to him.
100%. Asian is not ethnicity. Asian is not ethnicity. A Korean is ethnicity. And all of them are just on shaky ground, right? Because, I mean, somewhere 2 people fucked and then the whole thing is just made up.
Yeah. After that point of origin, the rest of it's just spinning stories and drawing imaginary lines in the sand.
Yeah. Vivek, you got some splaining to do. Yeah, that's what that is he wants to say that's That's a gay activist woke talk.
It Don Lemon's rich.
Sorry,
as
I
fuck.
apologize for the gay people out there. I don't want to drag you into it, but part of the you see that gay fucking culture, narcissistic, that element of gay narcissistic culture in Don Lemon just coming out in all his interviews. I hate to name call, but man, it's hard not to see what a bad person he is.
Yeah.
He is. I can't believe this is fucking national TV. He should be fired for that shit,
I wish,
or at least put on sabbatical.
I wish he just paused and said, "You're right. Please explain the freedoms that you didn't enjoy sitting in the position that you are in right now, being paid the salary you are right now with the influence in front of the American people that you do right now. Explain it to me. How'd you go from where you were to here you are now if you don't enjoy the same freedoms and opportunities that everybody else has in the U.S.?"
On top of adding to what Sousa said, Jay Hartle, the most privileged CNN host, saying he has difficulty being a black man.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. Like, it's like all the rich people telling you how to live your life and climate change, and they just do whatever the fuck they want.
And maybe he does have trouble being a black man, but not any more than fucking Caleb has trouble being a fucking white man. I put it fucking tit for tat. Every fucking car that has a fucking ski rack on it, Caleb has to be careful when he gets in that fucking 6'2" lanky fucking frame of his doesn't fucking bump the top of that ski rack hanging off the edge when he gets in the car. I know tall people problems. I've seen that shit. Caller, hi.
Yeah, hi. This is your on-staff gay hire.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Good morning.
Make sure.
Good to hear your voice. What do you do? What do you do? Didn't think you would listen to the live show.
What?
I didn't think you listened to the live show.
Oh, I try. I can catch it on the weekends, but I can't really catch it during the week.
Hey, congratulations on the boxing. How long have you been doing that?
I just picked it up again, but I did it a lot in my 20s. I did mixed martial arts and boxing.
Fuck,
super fun.
You look good, Garrett. You look really good.
I'm trying to get back there.
Yeah, you look good. Please, do you have thoughts on Mr. Lemon or myself?
From the gay community, we don't claim him. We don't claim him at all.
Oh, that hurts. I picture this wall full of gay people, and he's just on the outside like this, like with his hands in there. What? Please let me in.
Well, just like you guys were saying, the hierarchy of he's in a different hierarchy of gay people. The regular life that we all go through, he doesn't go through. He's that privileged gay, and we don't claim him.
Okay, fair enough.
We just want to live our lives and not I feel like two things can be true. I feel like people don't have to agree with the gay lifestyle, and also we can still all live comfortably together without bothering each other. And it's
100%.
It's fine. You don't have to agree with the lifestyle. You don't have to agree that we're married. You don't have to agree with any of that. You don't have to. But we can also just still talk, do what's best for our kids, do what's best for our spouses, our houses, and everybody can be happy. But they're doing too much.
No bankers are going to stop the gay community from borrowing money, right?
Right.
They obviously have some of the best track record at paying back bank loans of any demographic gay people, and no one is upset when gay people move into their fucking neighborhood because those houses usually have the weeds are pulled and the lawns are cut. Yeah, it's
we're not oppressed.
Right.
There's no oppression over here. We're not we're called a marginalized group, but we're really not. We can do all of the things if they took our right to marry away, the worst thing that happens is we can't file taxes together. But my life isn't going to change. Me loving my wife isn't going to change. Me making sure my kid goes to school and gets to do all the things he wants. That's not going to change. We're not. Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. So I'm walking down the street, and I like yesterday I saw this lady wearing a pink dress. Good body, probably 55 years old. And she was wearing a pretty short dress, and she was walking a dog, and one of her legs was one of those mechanical legs, like the full leg. Even though it was a short skirt, the whole fucking leg, I couldn't see where her nub was. Right. So as we're driving by, I go, oh, hey guys, look, there's a lady there walking her dog with one leg. Right. And I don't pass any judgment other than it's a rare sight. right? It's the same thing. If I see a 3-legged dog, I show my boys too. Hey, dudes, guys, look, 3-legged dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like if you're in the parking lot at Kmart and you get out and there's, all those blackbirds are all fucked up. They always got like if none of you have ever looked at the birds in like a parking lot, those little blackbirds in like Walmart or whatever, they always have like one of their feet's all club foot, or they're missing I don't know why that is, but they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
So, but if I do the exact same thing, because it's so rare to me, if I'm walking, I don't point it out to my kids, but if I'm walking down the street and I see 2 girls holding hands or 2 boys holding hands, I want to stare.
Yeah.
I want to, because
That's reasonable.
I just want to stare. I don't think that gay people feel that way when they see a man and a woman holding hands, because it's more common. They've seen it a million times, right?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of it is there's this confusion. When I went to Varanasi in India and I was walking down the street, and fucking every 30 feet, some little kid would come up and ask me if he could touch me. And I'm just a fucking 5'5" Armenian dude, but I'm in Varanasi, right? India. I mean, there's a component of just people are just curious and they're not used to it. They never seen 2 girls kiss in public.
I mean, I would stop and stare if I saw 2 girls kissing in public. Shit's gorgeous. Like,
okay.
Let's go. I mean, and that's fine. And like you take it, people, like you said, you get in your own head and people take it so personally, like it's automatically someone is judging you or someone is thinking bad thoughts about you. That's a you problem.
Right.
Like that's not it's not the person who's stopping and looking.
Now that being said, we have to be honest. You also have the other experience. You are a full-blown woman with a vagina and titties, but you go into bathrooms and people will be like, "Hey, no dudes in here," and you're like, "Hey, I'm not a dude."
And that's a me problem. But I have to get stronger with that. Like I've always felt so. Usually when people come at me, they come at me with that intent. Yeah, I'm not really making it up in my own head.
Right.
Like they'll verbalize the bad intent.
Right.
So then that's when I kind of shut down and start to, not do it. Cause I don't want to make them uncomfortable. I don't want to get yelled at. And I just assume people are going to yell at me because it's happened so often.
Now that part sucks and it's not fair. Like, but there's also on the other side, life's not fair. But the truth is that sucks. You're a girl, you want to use the fucking girl's bathroom, and because you have a fucking short haircut and because you're tall, people miscategorize you as a dude, and because you wear basketball shorts.
That's why I feel like the not so much transgender men, they're not the problem so much as transgender women. But I feel like if I have to go through it every day and, plan accordingly on how I'm going to use the bathroom and where I'm going to go use the bathroom and where there's like single stall bathrooms or family bathrooms. If you're choosing this lifestyle, if you're choosing to dress like a woman and act like a woman, and we all know that you're not one, and we're uncomfortable when you come in the bathroom, then damn it, you should have to like go through that too. Plan where you're going to go to the bathroom, find the family bathroom. Like I know on the highway going to Utica, which gas stations have family bathrooms that I can go into by myself so I don't make anybody uncomfortable. And because this is the life I've chosen to wear my hair like this. I've chosen to wear big sweatshirts and I understand what's happening. I understand exactly, what people are going to think, who I am, that, you know what I mean? The transgender women have to go through that too. Like you have to understand that some people are not comfortable. You chose this lifestyle. This is your choice. So now here, this is what comes with it.
How long did it take you to get comfortable with that? Because I'm like listening to this and I'm thinking like that's a lot. That's actually a lot to deal with. And there's a lot of stuff that I would never even think about that I'm listening to you talk. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, so how long did it take you to get from the point to where you almost were feeling like upset about this to the point that you are now where you're saying like, hey, I made these choices and this is just the reality that I live in now?
It took a long time. And like I've told you before in the past, I have a lot of people that know me, that have grown up with me, that have helped me kind of work this all out in my head and kind of understand it for myself and be comfortable in exactly what skin I'm in and understand what the reality of my life is like. But they won't even let you have a conversation. Like you can't even have a conversation with them. I ask people, I want to have a conversation. I want the feedback. I've talked to straight women that are my friends that, I don't want to go into a bathroom and have somebody with their little girl in there and they see me and freak out. Like, I don't want to do that. So it took a long time. I'm not going to lie. I was probably in my 30s really when it stopped.
Well, and it's not
bothering
fair.
me.
You have to accept the fact that life's not fair, right? Like it's just not.
Yeah,
It's just not.
yeah.
It's just not fair
Yeah.
what you have to go through.
It's not, but it's fine. But if you want to live your authentic life, then you have to take the good with the bad. That's the way it goes. Life isn't fair. Life's not fair in work, in sports, you just figure it out. You got to figure out how to navigate this stuff. And them just being like, well, just accept us as women and then we can, well, that's no. Like, no. Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. You're in a very interesting situation.
Yeah, I'm the outlier.
Well, because those people are wrong and you know they're wrong and you have to accept that they're wrong.
Yeah.
So anyone who confuses you, you're as woman as anyone can be. So anyone who confuses you, it's on them. And yet you're like, okay, but I understand it's because of the way I cut my hair and dress and how tall I am. Yeah, it's a fucking trip.
And
it's a trip.
It's just being self-aware. I'm self-aware.
Right.
I know.
Right.
I wanted to say, can I say this one thing to you?
Yep, show's yours. Go.
You remember the guy that called a couple days ago? I think his name is Jeremy. I just wanted to let him know that they're with the liberal girlfriend.
Yeah, he's banging the liberal girl. Yeah, that's the power of pussy right there. By the way, I really love this story we're following. It's an exclusive, a Sevan Podcast exclusive, by the way.
I just want to let him know that there's hope because my wife's very, very liberal. We lived a very woke lifestyle until I red pilled myself, and she's been on this journey. And a couple of weeks ago, I'm coming home from work. And I can hear in the hallway, I can hear your voice. Like, I'm like, is that Sevan? And so I turn the corner and I come in and my wife is sitting there with you on the TV screen watching one of your episodes that doesn't have to do with CrossFit. And I look at her, my eyes get big and she goes to like change. I was like, nope, I caught you. You're cheating on me with Sevan. I get it. I understand. I see it. It's happening. I can feel it.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
So there's hope. There's hope.
I'm so proud. Hey, hey, did you ever launch your podcast? Are you still kind of just in the beta testing it?
Yeah, we're kind of just like feeling it out, trying to, you know, how you guys always used to have the internet problems and figuring this.
Yes.
So we do have some episodes up, but it kind of is just us playing with it and figuring it out right now.
Okay, awesome. Hey, you know, you have a vast experience in stuff. Like you can talk about anything, by the way. It doesn't just have to be like this fucking hot topic issue. You can talk about the sports you play. You can talk about working with immigrants. You can talk about running a business. I mean, you got such a vast wealth of experiences. You can talk about raising a boy. So don't feel like you ever, I mean, maybe you know all this, maybe I'm a broken record, but man, dude, your show could be about so many different things. Susan always tells me like, hey, let's just feel around in the dark and see where we land. And you could totally do that.
Oh, that's super cool. Thank you for reminding me that because I've been so stuck on this one thing right now.
Yeah, no, talk about all sorts of stuff. Talk about what it's like working with an all-women team. Talk about what's working with immigrants. Talk about what it's like raising a boy. I mean, you have crazy skills. Talk about your what it's like having. I mean, you could obviously the biracial family, and you could leave out the sex stuff, or you can talk about the sex stuff. I mean, you have such a vast skill set and toolbox of things you can talk about. Mm-hmm. So you can talk about kids' sports. Yeah, I mean, you know what's up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see the boys are back together on a Sunday.
Thank you. Yep. Please call anytime, Garrett.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
I ain't going to lie. Zero humility. So fucking proud of this show.
She's really cool. That was a great call and perspective.
I'm so.
You're tickled by the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Coming in and watching.
Yeah. I'm just like, we got a gay girl. We got gay. What you got? What's your show got? What you got, Dawn? What you got, Dawn?
We got Jeff too.
Yeah, we got Jeff Bako. We got a gay guy and a gay girl.
What's up?
Okay, back to Donnie. Yes, let's go back to Don Lemon. Okay, here we go. She was Garrett was actually texting me the other day telling me I need to take another half inch off my hair, and I did it, and I fucked it all up.
I thought it looked good.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, when you got on earlier and you're kind of like moving around getting your stuff ready, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost about to turn into a mohawk. I got to be careful. Okay, let's get insulting. Lemon insulting to say black people have equality. Oh, this is great. Okay.
Whatever ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on the
debate.
content of the ideas.
Did you take out her cell phone?
So good. Hey, there's a video out there. It's called The Carter Family. And it's these 5 black dudes. I think they're brothers. I think they're all related. I assume they are because it says The Carter Family. And it's them watching this Officer Tatum talk about this clip. So you can watch a black dude watching a black dude being watched by 5 other black dudes. And they critique this whole video exchange. And it's fucking good. It's so good. I think the tide's turning, man. I think that the people are starting to realize the psyop. And here's the thing, just so you know, woke tards like me and Garrett, who fucking finally got red pilled, we don't know when we're over there. We think the opposite. We actually think like we're helping. We think like feeding the seagulls crackers is cool, and that you're an asshole eating food in your restaurant and being upset because you got shit on by a few seagulls. We're like, no, we're saving the seagulls. We don't know we're assholes. All right. Yeah, exactly, Kenneth. That's what they want you to think. Yeah, that's what we thought. We totally think that. Oh, Jesus. This is some hick shit. I'm not racist. My dogs are black. Are you muted, Susan? What happened? How come I can't? Oh.
I just have it because there's a little bit of music playing in the background. I just don't know how much of it was picking up.
Oh, it's fine. Extra sloppy for the chat. Mary, fuck, kill, Caleb, Souza, Sevi. No one answer that, please. $1.99 is not enough to humiliate me this morning. Good morning, Fergie. What's up, brother? Good morning. Okay. Yeah, it's the same with Scientology. They think they're saving the world. Yeah.
You would have to, right? No one goes into something being like, "Hey, I'm the evildoer here."
I'm gonna tell you this line that you need to listen to, and they don't realize it. Socialists will stack dead bodies like cordwood. They will kill. I'm not trying to be some like fucking fearmonger. Socialists will, and socialists are libtards. They will stack dead bodies like cordwood. They will fucking kill us so that trannies can use the bathroom.
Well, they're killing you because you're a bigoted racist that must die because we labeled you that, right?
Yes,
you're the evildoer. That's why. Yeah.
I don't know about prenup.
Prenup. I mean, what do you got? How much you got?
I'm the wrong person to ask because it's like every day. This is gonna be hard for me to admit to you guys. Every day I'm out in public, I see a tattoo that I like, and yet I hate tattoos. But every day I see one. There's so many tattoos, and I look at them and I'm like, oh, that looks great on that guy. Oh, that looks good. I mean, trust me, I see thousands more that I'm like, what a tool. And that's how I feel about prenups. Like, they're completely fucking stupid. Just don't get married. But maybe there is a place for them. I don't know. In some areas, I'm getting more judgmental in my old age, and some I'm getting less. I got married, and I put all my shit in even before I was married, all my shit's in my wife's name. Because I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm homeless. That would be dope.
What do you think if you met somebody you had like 20 million though?
Yeah, or
like assets and cash and stuff.
Right, right. Like... You're. What about this? How about this? How about you have 4 kids, and you're divorced, and then you marry, and you're 70 years old, and your wife's 40.
Yep. Yeah.
And your sons are fucked. Your kids your sons and daughters are fucked.
Hopefully your dad.
And yet this 40-year-old has to fucking handle your fucking, semi-flaccid cock,
But we all know why she's there. Just waiting it out.
Yeah. Oh, look at. Oh, wow. Look at Allison with a strong opinion here. I didn't think you. Not in a real marriage between two people who love each other. I mean, listen. How about this? If you ask your wife, how about this? If you ask your wife, hey, if I cheat on you, will you leave me? And she says yes, get a prenup. If you think you would leave your wife if she cheated on you, get a prenup. Because like for me, I'm ride or die. I'm till death do us part. Easy for me to say. I haven't had to deal with it yet, but like I stay with my wife if she cheats on me. Even if I come home and there's fucking 3 midgets servicing her, I don't leave.
You better bust out the camera. We need that content.
Yeah, content. I don't leave. There's no fucking way. Yeah, I get through cheating too. Yep. I get through cheating. Yep. I'm not so like find some shit that's a deal breaker. If I would not, if my wife wanted to transition to a man, I would protect my kids from that. I would not, even if I thought it was an okay thing to do or a right thing to do, but I wouldn't want my kids to witness that. I'd figure out a way. No, I don't think I could get.
Would that change if they were older? Like
yes,
put 10 years on each of the boys?
Yes. I would feel so bad for someone though if they were tried to go through that when I was with them. I would rather like you try to win the gold medal in wrestling in the Olympics than have to. You know what I mean? It just sounds insane.
I mean, Jeff Bezos didn't get a prenup.
He didn't?
No. And how do you become the richest woman in the world? Divorce Jeff Bezos.
He didn't get a prenup?
Nah. But I believe he was with her,
Can you check that, Caleb? That's fucking badass. That's fucking.
But I do believe that they were together. Like,
wasn't his chick banging Gavin Newsom or something?
No.
Yeah, his chick was with someone before him.
Mackenzie Bezos.
The one that's
thinking of somebody else.
Oh, the first wife, not the new bitch.
No, not the new one.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking about the new chick he's banging that looks like isn't it crazy that he went from this fucking wholesome looking chick to a chick who looks like a full-blown porn star?
Yeah, well, him himself went from like, complete tech nerd to like just juiced up and freaking yoked.
What? Dude, I guess no one has any. I see that a lot. Dudes just don't care. They get rich and they just start banging chicks who look like whores.
I'll tell you when I get there, brother.
And that's not fair to say that whores. That's too flippant. They start banging girls. I want to strike that from the record. Caleb, can you erase that from the live feed? Thank you.
3 minutes.
And that's the only time I've ever asked that on this show. Because
strike that from the record.
There's girls who it's very apparent that their only point to existence is to catch a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair to call those chicks whores. No. That's like
I got a vision.
Yeah, because there was a time in my life where my only point to existence was to catch a girl.
And I mean, you look at
can you imagine? No one ever helped me with that. Can you imagine? I'm a 15-year-old boy, and my only desire is to have a girlfriend, right? Who will let me like put my arm around her.
Yeah, like most 14-year-old boys.
Like even 15. All I want to I don't need anything else. I just want to put my arm around you, maybe hold your hand, maybe when I dance, like hold you, smell you. And no one pulled me aside. No man, no woman, not my mom, not my dad, not my uncle. And was like, hey, you really want a girlfriend? Yeah, I'll help you do that. Okay, what do we do? Okay, for the first thing we do is we're going to make you more interesting and more focused and more relaxed and a better body. And yeah, that's Bezos's chick. Yeah, and that's her looking kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks like now she looks more like the Joker now. Caleb did it. You did it right, Caleb. Did you used to date her, Caleb?
Yeah. High school.
Because you made her look normal. Look at her boob is so fake that it's not even the boob shape. You can see like something's wrong with her boob there, right? You can see the implant.
Yeah, it's got
on
a
the top
weird lump.
Mm.
like, do you know what I mean? Like, no one was like, hey, Sevan, we'll start working out. You need to read this book. You need to read 30 minutes a day. Really? That'll get me chicks? Yeah, totally. Just trust me. You need to work out. You need to go for walks. You need to watch way less TV. You need to stay away from these foods. You need to feel comfortable and calm, even when you get nervous around girls. You need, like, no one, it would have been so easy to help me. I was a man who was so passionate about my goals.
Would you have been receptive to the advice though?
Who knows? But no one has ever pulled me aside and been like, no, like my whole family, my whole community was pushing me towards goals that they thought were relevant goals. Yeah, that doesn't even look like a human being to me. Her mouth looks like a place to park your penis. Her mouth looks like a vagina or an anus or something. Look the way she's holding her lips. Like, what do you think guys think when they see that mouth?
Exactly what you said.
It's just an opening. I mean, and who thought it was a good idea to film her tits like that? I mean, literally, there's a component of like low self-esteem, sex there, combination. I'll do anything for sex. Look, I'm not even trying to say that to be mean.
Hey.
And I know that I know it's me bringing my shit to it too. I'm not stupid to that. If I didn't have a penis, I might not be aware that, I know I'm bringing some, but I'm going to go 50-50. I'm only going to take 50% responsibility.
Hey, I think about it this way. How do you bring value to somebody like Jeff Bezos, like these ultra high net worth individuals that have access to anything they want in the world, and have a ton of these people that work for them that could kind of get them anything? How do you bring value to that individual? You, Sevan,
Susan's asking, what do you buy someone for Christmas that's the richest man in the world?
That's right. What
Holy
do you get him?
shit!
What do you do? How do you get close to that person or add value to that person? And as that chick, we figured out she's like the AI sex bot. Okay, I said on this, she's AI. Which is right, because what is he going to get that he can't get from everything else that he has? Maybe a little something from his new girlfriend.
I don't know if what I'm saying is going to be true, but it really could be as simple as to crack the code for any man is just to get him to ejaculate, is like always be there, always be somehow trying to get him to ejaculate. And so if you really wanted a rich guy who was like 60, just stay on him. And eventually you'll spoil him to a point that no one can compete with you, which is probably pretty easy. And just be completely selfish and service his genitalia. It might work 100% of the time, and it might not work at all. I'm not sure. But dudes, I think it's like that kind of simple.
Yeah, especially someone in his position where, like, who knows exactly what Jeff's next like venture is, but the whole, like, he's already done the climb, right? Like Amazon's already the behemoth that it is, so he's kind of like looking for that next thing a little bit, and it's that's the kind of the cycle of what you see with these ultra rich business people. It's like a lot of them will, especially if they've been with their wife prior to building the business and everything else. It's like they get to the top and then they start like seeking again.
Hey, Don Fall says a rich equals NDAs. The point is here though is like if you're two crackheads living in a tent and you don't need an NDA because there's nothing they can take from you.
Yeah.
So it's Yanni Smith, thank you. Repeat with me, Sevi. Yanni. Yoni. I know Yoni.
Yanni.
Do you know what the Yoni is, Caleb? Please don't murder my name. Monthly donation. I love you, boys. Yanitza Smith.
Yanni.
I really like your picture. I get so Halle Berry'd up when I see you. Yeah, it's weird. There's no. Oh, good morning, Miss Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I mean, if ladies or dudes want to have work done, that makes them feel better. Go for it. You do you, right?
I mean, I almost feel like she's kind of like a sex object a little bit, right? Like we're going to assume that's the value that she's bringing to the relationship with Bezos. Right? Like what you were saying? Like Like she's like the sex. So of course you would get all the work done.
Clive, let's get real. Most men would chase that woman down the street, including these three clowns, shit talking the way she looks. Their necks would break if they saw her in real life. Yeah, I see her as I would be like, holy fuck, look at that cum rag. You're totally right. 100%. I would point that if I saw her walk down the street with her tits pushed up like that and seeing her fake tit pushing through a real tit and her lips looked like a vagina and anus had melted into one, I would point that out to my wife. I'd be like, holy shit, look at that chick over there. Look at that fucking sex pot.
Yeah, not me.
There's no doubt.
Not me. I would stare straight. I'm focused. I'm a focused man.
There's no but I would not I'm honestly not attracted to her. I'm attracted to her
in one specific, very specific way.
But not even that way so much. I'm just curious. Like the same way I'm curious about.
I still think Allison.
Like if there was a woman who was 7 feet tall who wanted to have sex with me, I would be curious. I'd be very like, it wouldn't matter. Like she could have like hair on her back. I'd probably want to try it. I'm just curious. Here's to add to the proper amount of diversity to the show. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. There is something in here though. Jay Sizzle, dudes need a spark, not just an orgasm. I don't think sex as often as desired will work. You need that whole spark of connection, friendship, and intimacy.
You sound gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Jay, I hear you. I hear you. I 100% hear you. But we're talking about a dude who's in $1 billion tax bracket. And
Crazy.
It's not just an orgasm. It's basically like, I'm talking about like, she'll do anything. She'll jerk him off on the G5. She'll like, she'll blow him at the car show at the expo when no one else can, the car's lifted over the crowd with 3 million people below cheering him on and they don't know she's in there. I'm just talking about, you just have to think of what value she adds. Now we could be totally wrong. She could be just the ultimate, like, spiritual guide.
Yeah, we could be way off base.
She could be both, but there becomes a certain amount of money that people have, and it becomes very difficult to distinguish. And you have to also remember the other signs, right? All the work. If it was that, why did she have all that work done? Why is he all juiced up? With no judgment, I'm just curious. They must find it somehow better for themselves, because what would he care what anyone thinks about him?
I wonder.
Dick Butter, that car show thing sounded way too specific. Well, one time I was held over. Anyway, we have so many to get through today. We haven't even started the show.
Now we're in 53 minutes in.
That picture of her that Caleb pulled up, her arms are doing some weird shit. She has some like fat on her arms that like she'll never be able to get off. She got something going on. So her rig's been permanently damaged. I'm not sure how that happened to her, but you'd wonder how she was in bed but not marry her. Too much work. I need that explained to me.
I think she means you would have sex with her but not like be in a relationship, because that's too much work.
Well, she's got to, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And I don't think she's married to Bezos, is she?
No.
Yeah, she's just dating.
Allison, Clive, maybe what would be best is for men to stop thinking their opinions are the most important thing when it comes to the way women look. I don't know what that means either. Someone help me.
Allison seems slightly triggered by your take on her earlier.
What would be best is for men to stop thinking their opinions are the most important. Like just about women's looks in general, men's opinions shouldn't. I don't understand. Yeah. Maybe she had 5 kids and wanted her boobs to go back to the way they were. Totally. Yeah.
Could be.
I'm not. Yeah. Everyone do you. Everyone do you. Everyone do you. But if you're walking around and you stand out and look 100% different, like if an alien spaceship came and landed at the beach, it's fair game for everyone to look at it. And it's fair game for everyone to look and have thoughts about everything. Okay. And she doesn't look human to me. She doesn't look human to me.
Well,
That's why she looks more like a curiosity to me.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of the parts have been upgraded.
I love objectifying.
Stop objectifying.
It adds so much value to my life. I love objectifying. How could someone not want to objectify? Do you want to look up the definition of that word, Caleb? Objectify?
This has already gone. This is really packed a punch in these first 55 minutes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Objectify, degrade to the status of a mere object. How the fuck does degrade get in there?
Sexist.
Deeply sexist attitude that objectifies women. Wait a second. So if you find a woman's tits fucking absolutely amazing, that is degrade to the status of a mere. What are tits if they're not just a mere object? What does that mean? A mere object? God,
I'm more than an object.
Has that always meant that? Like that? Does it always meant to? I don't think that's a correct definition. What objectify?
Guess it has negative connotation to it. But
Wow,
was that
that's fucking crazy?
Caleb? When you scroll down, was that a?
Sometimes
was that
I
a
feel
slap
sorry
on-
for the world other people live in. My world's so much better.
Oh, is that the use of the word?
Yeah. Let me look up a different dictionary.
Wow.
Ah, yeah, that's crazy. Look at that. Started getting crazy around 1980.
Wow. Can you so if you go to the store, if you buy a puppy because it's cute, you've objectified the puppy? If you go, oh my God, that puppy's so cute. You can't think someone's hair is beautiful as a mere object. To treat as an object or cause to have objective reality. There we go. To give an expression to something such as an abstract notion, feeling, or ideal in a form that can be experienced by others. Well, in that sense, yeah. We had objectified it down to the fact that she was kind of a cum rag, that she was basically just a servicing unit for Jeff Bezos. She was not just a rag, but a means of extraction of semen from Bezos. So I guess in that way. But to say that that's something negative and she can't be proud of is also judgmental. Men's brains are designed to objectify females. All human brains are made to objectify fucking everything. If you don't do that, you go fall down the fucking stairs.
Yeah.
If you don't fucking see the staircase.
You
don't objectify it.
Eat the poisonous berries.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Whole tribe dies.
This sounds like just woke shit to me. And there's a component of hating women, right? There's the piece that like somehow you're wrong if you find a woman beautiful or sexy or arousing.
Every example is the objectification of women. There's no other examples.
Which is funny because that's basically what gender ideology is. It's the objectification of something that's completely abstract. They're trying to objectify something that's in someone's imagination. Can't be done. That's why the conversation always gets so weird and stupid.
Yeah.
But they're trying to do it. That's what woke people are doing. They're trying to objectify their imagination. That's a great definition of insanity right there, by the way. Something that can never be objectified that you're trying to objectify. That's why we think people are weird who are looking for the Sasquatch. That's why the UFO shows are so weird, because like enough of us haven't seen them, so we think they're trying to objectify something that's in your imagination, and we're like, oh shit, it's like schizophrenic shit.
Mm.
Okay, 582. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna tear through these. Absolutely tear through these. Here we go. What was that? Oh, okay. Here we go. Listen to this. Hey, now imagine like imagine like we live in a world with where people actually give a fuck about other human beings. Caller, hi.
Hey.
Hi.
So a little late, but I want to bring up something you guys talked about with Will. I think it was on last weekend's show.
Who's Will?
Is it an okay time to do that?
Who's Will?
The caller,
He was the guy that, the caller that talked about morality and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting
Yes. He's like our top political and religious correspondent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that guy.
Yes. Hey, that guy's the real deal. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like you see him around
I
on
don't
news
wanna-
shows and shit. He's slumming it calling into this show.
Well, I don't want to argue anything he's saying, but
Okay.
I do have some questions.
Okay. Careful. He might
So-
call in and shit. Take over
I
the
hope
show.
he does.
Okay. Here we go.
I hope he does, because I'm genuinely curious.
I just wanted to add one thing. Sarah Cox, there's nothing wrong with women wanting to look younger or better, but you have to do it naturally. I don't know what that means naturally, but yeah. And hey, sorry. One final thing. And
That's all right.
I've told you guys a fucking million times, like I'll be talking shit about boobs and then I'll be staring at the fake boobs all day. So like, I'm a fucking walking contradiction. Like, I want to stick my face right in between Bezos' chick's boobs. Okay.
Don't we all?
Go on.
Okay, so what I was hearing with the whole
But I hate the fact that women have to try to live up to that. And I'd be fine if they like, that's why I'm not going to, I like dangling pendulous boobs too. Okay, now I'm done. I really am done. Okay, back to Will. Sorry, caller. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So what I was hearing, I hear the argument a lot, I guess. Being gay is not a sin until you act on it. And he was explaining how the reason it's wrong to act on it was because of the whole natural law idea. And it should be between a male and a female because the intention is to make a baby. So I'm curious if it's only okay to have sex and act on lust and attraction when the goal is to make a baby, then would protected sex be a sin? Because you're not.
I think they do. I think they do think it's a sin. I don't understand the premise though of why homosexuality is a sin. I don't understand. I don't understand the premise of like you're telling me like. I can understand like, hey, you're a dude and you're naturally attracted to girls, but you want a handy, but some guy tries to give you a handy and you don't really care. But I understand the premise of like, don't let him do it because you don't want to have to guard that secret or be an oddity in society. Like, I can go along with that logic, right? I can see the value of having, because men are so fucking sex crazed and driven by like the conquering of like women. I don't know if conquering is the right word, but I can understand the importance of like staying in your lane with women because they kind of put a, what's that thing that you put on the car to make sure it doesn't go too fast?
Governor.
A governor. They put kind of a governor on you and they force you like to do shit like invent light bulbs or ride bulls, for 7 seconds. I can't even have this conversation because I can't see I don't understand the problem with homosexuality. I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
Like at all. But I do think that men, I do think that there would be I'm open to being wrong about this. I don't mean this in any bigoted way. I do think that you would find that gay men are disproportionately the larger group of pedophiles than straight men.
Yeah.
First, because men need a governor on their sex shit. They need we operate better at not just full throttle spraying semen everywhere. We work with we work better with discipline.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a female that is attracted to females, I've gotten the argument many times with the religious community.
What's their argument? Why is there any logic on why it's not, why you shouldn't be attracted?
Yeah, that's
how are you
what
supposed
I'm
to
trying
control
figure
that
out.
either? Do you think that you're attracted
You
to females the same way I'm attracted to females, or do you think a girl's attraction to girls is different than a boy's attraction to girls?
I couldn't give you an answer to that, but I know I tried for about 28 years to not be attracted to girls. Like I tried very hard to be attracted to men, and eventually I just like you can't I can't control it. Like there's just
let me ask you this.
Yeah, how you described attraction is very accurate, and eventually you live in enough misery, I guess, trying to force attraction to what society tells you to, that it's exhausting and unhappy. So
are you ever attracted to boys? Are you ever like, ooh, I that would be fun to take a shower with that guy?
Yeah, I coach CrossFit, and there's a couple men that there's something about butterfly pull-ups and six packs, and I watch men do that, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, but it's different than a sexual attraction, I guess.
Okay, right, right.
And emotional attraction.
Yeah,
there's definitely an emotional attraction that I feel with women and just not men.
I know, right? Guys are such fucking perverts. I'm the exact same way. Jeremy's like, I'm attracted to this color. I know, right? We're such fucking we're such dirt bags. I hear you, Jeremy. Me too. Okay. It's the same thing. Like I never say anything stupid to a girl, but like every beer I put in, like there's a chance something stupid's going to come out. But like there's never a point where I'm going to drink 12 beers and I'm going to end up with a dick in my mouth. Like I go further and further down, maybe saying something stupid to a girl. Is it like that for you too with girls? Like you might not act on it, and 2 beers in, you're like, oh shit, I'm going to start standing too close to this girl now.
Yeah, I get a lot more brave, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's the litmus test to like test out like what sexuality you are. And when you masturbate, do you think of girls?
Yes.
Yeah, I think those are the 2 litmus tests. If when you drink, if you start like being like, oh fuck, you start noticing like it's that thing that Souza explained about alcohol. It fucks up the front of your brain, and you stop thinking about the consequences of anything beyond 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you know what my litmus test was, actually, it was jealousy. That was when I officially realized, like, oh crap.
So if I was ever jealous that someone else interviewed Rich Froning besides me, that means I'm gay. Oh no, I'm fucked.
Gay in it. It was when somebody I was super attracted to was with somebody else. Yeah, like,
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Some lesbian was telling me that lesbians will not tolerate that you guys would have a greater veracity against, like, if you saw, especially penises, you don't tolerate penises in relationships. Like 2 lesbians, if one of the girls slept with a guy, that would be fucking like World War III. That the jealousy from men is just towards men is insane.
I don't know if I don't know. I'm not a super jealous person. So I guess when it comes to jealousy, like when I started to feel that, it was like, okay, we got some self-exploration that needs to go on here. Like, time to figure something out, what's going on. But
did it take you off guard?
Yeah.
Like, were you not expecting it the first time, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, why am I feeling this way?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't do jealousy either. I'm so rarely jealous. I can't ever remember being jealous. It's a very unattractive trait.
Yeah, it definitely caught me off guard. But
hey, if you want to fuck someone, there's got to be at least one other person out there that wants to fuck them. That's the thing, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
I mean, it's every like Caleb's wife. Have you seen Caleb's wife?
I have not.
Like all the dudes at the fire. Caleb knows that every time she goes to work, that all the dudes there want to shower with her.
She's a firefighter. I'm already.
Yeah, and the dudes are and in defense of the dudes, they're probably really good at like faking it, like that they don't. But
not as good as I think.
Oh, all right. Fair. All right. So what's the question for Will? Why is it a sin, or was that my question? What's your What's your question? Like, are you tripping on it too? Or are you like, fuck, I don't want to be a sinner?
Yeah, I think I didn't trip on that argument at all, because I think, like, honestly, I just feel bad for those people that are so closed-minded that they can't be open to being gay, I guess, or be accepting of people that are gay.
Yeah.
But I think that conversation in particular that like really got my wheels turning was when like pedophilia kind of got brought into it. And like, I couldn't tell if you were making the relationship of like those two sins, like acting on those two things were relative or not. I don't think that you were, because obviously in one of those situations, somebody's getting hurt, and another one, nobody's getting hurt.
Right,
you know?
right. One's consensual.
Yep.
Yes.
And if I was, I apologize. I did not mean to. I apologize if I was.
No, and I didn't take it that way.
Okay.
It just really got my wheels turning, because it made me wonder, like, if people who genuinely think that being gay is a sin, or acting on being gay is a sin, like, it just made me wonder if they do make that relationship with that, which is just like gross. So I guess I was just thinking more about it that day. And then it was just kind of something that's like, well, who makes it right for it being men and women? And they would answer it with the Bible and natural law.
Yeah, I can't buy that. I can't buy that.
I don't think that Will sleeps with his wife every time and thinks, time to make a baby. Let's have more babies. You know, like, it's just kind of.
I do think you're right, though. I think that truly religious. I think people who are like walking foot in foot with that book, step in step with it. I think that they know that contraception is sin. I think they know that.
But I mean, it makes me wonder: is he's had to have had sex and like pulled out, or like not had sex?
So you're saying not even like a barrier, but pull out. What about timing it? Like, I have Catholic friends who time it. Like the chicks just like, hey, I'm ovulating. Don't let one fly. Yeah,
I mean, there's all kinds of ways to prevent having babies, and some of them are a little less accurate than others. But I think that like the idea behind it, like, is that a sin if you're not going into sex for natural law purposes to have a baby? Is it a sin? And if you're going to say no to that, then you've got to say no to same sex. I don't know.
Philip Kelly, for the caller to say her name, $1.99. You don't need to say your name, by the way. I just have to read it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say my name.
Yeah, Sevan, how many beers have you had today? Today's my fasting day, no beers. Allison NYC, you've never said anything stupid to a woman? I don't know who you're talking about, but I've said tons of stupid shit to women, and it gets exacerbated with every beer I have. I just haven't said anything stupid to a guy with a beer. Like I've never like at beer number 12 been like, okay, I'm ready to just let someone slip a cock in my mouth. But I'm willing at beer 12. I'm willing to fuck a chick who's like barely a chick.
After his 13th Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney's looking pretty
Dylan
good.
Mulvaney.
All right. Well, I won't take up any more of your time, but
all right. Thank you. Thank you for the thoughtful call. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye. It's funny how me and Jared, probably all the guys are like, oh, this chick's cool. This chick's cool. I am a dude. I'm a boy. I got the boy stuff going on. Some boy shit. Okay. Here we are. This is about what's best for our health. Yeah, pushing the clock forward and backward.
Matthew Walker, by the way.
Okay, here we go. That's the guy's name, you know, Matthew Walker?
Yeah, Matthew Walker. He wrote a book called Why We Sleep. It's a really good book.
Okay.
Experiment that's performed on 1.6 billion people across 70 countries twice a year, and it's called daylight savings time. Now, in the spring, when we lose an hour of sleep, we see a subsequent 24% increase in heart attacks.
What?
In the fall, in the autumn, when we gain an hour of sleep, there's a 21% decrease in heart attacks. So it's bidirectional. Wow. That's how fragile and vulnerable your body is to even just the smallest perturbation of sleep.
1 hour.
1 hour is
That's
all it
insane.
takes. Yeah. All it takes is 1 hour. Because there is
perturbation, the smallest perturbation. Listen, let's say that this is true. and this is a fact. And by a fact, I mean there in this study that that's the predictive value of time. You know, that the science being that those predictions, that's the highest predictive value we have for heart attacks, or it's an amazingly strong correlate.
Yep.
And yet, your government still does that. It still puts fluoride in your water, and it enforces you to go to 49ers games. I mean, just none of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense. How have they not stopped daylight savings?
Right. Hey, if you listen to that book, the facts they have on teenagers and sleep in school and car crashes,
yeah,
is crazy.
Yeah, I never slept in high school. Yeah, yeah.
You know, and the rhythm of your sleep is pushed that way as you're in adolescence, and he talks about it too. So you're trying to create this school system that works against kind of your natural rhythm, and it creates a bunch of issues. So going back to what you were saying, if we know that and we're collecting data on it, we know that it's wrong, like why aren't we making steps to change it? It's almost like they don't care about the public at all.
Imagine starting an organization that calls Black Lives Matter and burning down cities and being worried about 12 probably guilty men who were shot, but were shot and killed when they were unarmed, but were probably guilty for some sort of heinous crime, when you could just easily protest peacefully at the Capitol to get rid of daylight savings and save more lives. Imagine like you cared about melanated people specifically. That was what you're bent on. And all you had to do was go to the Capitol, get all the melanated people and non-melanated to write letters saying we want to get rid of daylight savings time, and you'd save 3,000 melanated people's lives every year from having heart attacks. But instead, you do BLM and burn down cities just to save 12. It's fucking nuts. You see what I'm saying here? Completely just misplaced energy.
Yeah, it all is.
No one gives a fuck. No one really gives a fuck. Don't think anyone does. Oh, none of those people give a fuck. None of those woke people give a fuck. They're all there's literally, I'm seeing it more and more now. They're just tools. They're just being driven. They're just being manipulated. They're like leaves being blown around by a leaf blower. It's crazy. All right.
Do you think it's unraveling this much now because of our access to information? It's so much greater now. Like, go back to, in the 90s and say, okay, well, we're talking about this subject. Well, someone bring up data on that.
You're saying
it's
that
like,
maybe things are better than, you're suggesting that maybe things are better than they've ever been because it's starting to unravel?
Number one, things are better than they've ever been. That's proven. No question about that. And number two, yeah, I just think that now that this veil of power, this veil of kind of the facade that was put on is being lifted. So now you're being able to see the interests aligned of the, major corporations and government and corporate media. And it's easier for us to look at it and say, wait a minute, that's complete bogus bullshit, because we have this mass amount of other data points that we're looking at, which if you go back not even that long ago, you didn't have it. Like right now we could say, hey, Caleb, look up the statistic on this and give us 3 reference points and then give us those references to this. And he could sit there right there. Or we could do what Jeff Bako does and sits behind the comments and waits for me to say something and then Googles it to be like, oh, Sousa.
Is that what he does? Oh, yeah, look at, yeah.
Well, first he takes my cock out of his mouth for a second. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
Hey, 800 shows in, and that's the first time Sousa's done the take the cock out of the mouth with sound effects. I approve of that.
But you know what I mean? So we have this abundance of information. So I just wonder if it makes that's what's really happening here. And
look
now we're
at
able
Trish.
to
Look at Trish wants you to objectify something. We never. You said something subjective, and now Trish wants you to objectify. Sorry, we don't do objectification on the show. Well, for starters, why there's more large boobs than there's ever been, thanks to science.
It's called Factfulness, Trish. It's a great book. You should look it up, and it's going to break down step by step how far we've come in humanity and how much things better are. We have more access right now to everything.
That was oddly accurate.
It ain't my first rodeo, Hartle. And it's a great book. It's called Factfulness, and if you look it up, it'll lay out the whole entire thing of how far we've actually come and how better things are now. Yes.
Whenever I see that, I just want to know if the author's alive, because if the author's alive, I should read it.
Yeah,
I'm not reading anything. Well, I don't want to read anything if the author's not.
And
alive.
The craziest part about this too is like they just say, hey, if you go back to the 1970s and you take the richest person in the world, we have more stuff and more access than they did.
What if this, Souza? Let me propose this to you, Caleb. You feel free to listen if you want, but you don't have to, obviously. What if? Why do a show like this? Why not just focus on the CrossFit Games or focus on basket weaving, or do a show that just like where we just rate the best tits and best and the best male asses, you know, on the planet? Why not just hang out and have fun? And the three of us know we're awake, but we don't disturb the matrix at all, and we just like maybe I can't accept the fact of what I'm seeing, so I'm trying to convince more people to see. Maybe like I'm like that guy who saw the UFO. I'm seeing something, and I just want more people to see it. But what do I give a fuck? Why not just like have fun? I can just walk, like I go in the grocery store and I can just walk around and see everyone's asleep. But who cares that? Why do I? Is it just my own insecurity that I want to try to wake other people up? What do I care if the whole world turns communist and totalitarianism and like whatever, as long as I get to stay awake and see things, like I still get to see. No one can stop me from seeing.
But I think without us seeing and then talking about it and then discussing and processing it, it'll never progress to something better.
You mean for humanity as a whole?
Yeah. Yes, because the ones who do are going to be the ones who control it. The ones who don't are going to be the ones who just turn the wheel. They're just another clog in the system functioning.
And I guess I could think that, like, what made me think of all this is what you were saying. Like, what if it's okay? What if the world moves along perfectly? 98% of the people stay asleep and 2% stay awake. But it doesn't move along perfectly if 98% of the people wake up and only 2% are asleep. What if let's say that would be the end of the world? Is it better just to keep people asleep? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm proposing here. I know it's a bit abstract. I guess I justify it because I feel like.
So what do you mean? Like why spend our time focusing on?
Like, who cares if they want everyone to take the drugs. I figured out a way that I don't have to take the drugs. They want everyone to be racist. I figured out a way not to be racist. Like, I figured out all this stuff for myself to have equanimity and to stay connected and to be able to. I have rituals that help me stay connected to the outside the matrix.
And is your life better or worse from that?
It's so much better.
So I think that maybe that's why you want to do it, because you want other people to feel similar how you do and be able to look at things clearly, or a little bit more clearly.
I guess. I mean, part of me thinks if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't give a fuck.
That's what. I was gonna say you want it to be better for your kids because of their future, but then that doesn't explain why I want to do it, because I don't have kids. But I still feel like I like these shows where we dig in deep into these subjects. Like to me, I could care less about a no rep. Their chest didn't touch the bar and they're still going to the games. It's like, okay, you know, that's something that we're all passionate about. I'm sitting inside my CrossFit affiliate right now, right? But at the end of the day, I don't care that much to talk about that as much as I do these other.
When we walk away from the show, I think about the topics that are on this show.
Exactly.
When I walk away from the no rep show, I'm not wondering like.
And I'm not shitting on that, by the way, either.
Me neither. Yeah. But I'm not. But I don't like. We're on a thread. We're on this. God, you guys. I'm on this thread. It's the most amazing thread ever. Both of you guys are on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy about that thread? It's like an underground thread. Like, I don't think the people on there know how fucking amazing that thread is.
Yeah.
Like, if you are a fucking CrossFit Games geek or you care what's happening in the CrossFit Games system, I'm on this text thread that's fucking nuts.
You started it.
It's like a sampling of all. It's like such a crazy sampling. Have you ever thought of like the world as like all the creatures on planet Earth, and planet Earth is a sensory organ of God's. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah,
like it's just one giant sensory organ that's feeding back to God. That's what, and we're all just like the cells and shit, like giving feedback to this larger entity, conscious entity.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like that thread is. It's like all these little feelers out that are in the ecosystem, and everyone has their specialty. Like we got a plumber, we got a killer, we got a, you know what I mean? A cook.
And they all chime in at different
and everyone,
times,
yeah,
too.
and everything's like just firing shit into this. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. You can't even keep up with it. Do you keep up with it, Caleb?
I try to, but it's really hard.
Yeah,
it is hard. Right? Yeah, it like ebbs and flows, right?
Yeah, like I'll come out of work and I'll like get signal, and then all of a sudden I have like 150 text messages.
God, it's crazy. Unless you're going to have us in, you're being a huge cock tease. I know. It's braggadocio to say the least, but it is what it is. Last night I was just looking at it, and it's like,
hey, you know
my goodness. Listen, Clive, angry because I've snapped at Clive recently, so he's sticking it back in me. Rule number 1 is no criticizing of Sevan.
That rule is
if it's not, it should be. If it's not, it should be. It's just a thread with games dorks on it. It's and CrossFit dorks. It's just like, just all the people that I've ever had on this show who are like the dork squad. You know what I mean? Like the John Youngs or the Patrick Clarks or the Tyler Watkins. It's those dudes. But they're from all different facets and the little corners. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's so crazy.
Hey, going back to the thing you were talking about earlier, like why do we discuss these topics? Yeah. I actually just read a comment that Trish wrote that made me think about it. She was like, "Oh, I don't care about the games," and I was like, maybe that's why I'm so passionate about the methodology of CrossFit, because that pushes humanity forward in a certain sense, as opposed to the games. It's just entertainment and sports.
Yeah. And I have some sports are intrinsic. They have no value intrinsically. Like they're only things we add value to, where the rest of this shit does have value intrinsically. Like it's meaningful in someone's everyday life, that if they're gay, are they living in sin? Like that was some pretty fucking honest shit that chick called in about.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, who gives a fuck how many points LeBron James scored? It's only cool if he uses that fame to like bring clean drinking water to Baltimore.
Yep.
Right. Whereas just caring about like, hey, yeah. Okay, fine. All right. I feel better. Thank you for justifying the show.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Clive, thank you for slapping me around a little bit. I appreciate it. A little dose of humility. Fergie made a comment earlier. I fucking missed it. To pull it up, but it said it was like a slogan for beer getting ugly people laid for thousands of years or something. It was something funny like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, that really, I mean, that's it. I mean, yes.
And that was the thing with like on campus, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we have to reduce rape is happening every day on campus." And they're like, "Well, just get rid of all the alcohol, and you'll see all that sexual stuff like come down dramatically, right?" They're like, "Well, let's not get crazy."
Yes. Well, hey, yeah, there's another one. Yeah, and you don't even have to make alcohol illegal. You could start a massive government campaign, basically shaming alcohol, like they did with littering, right?
And with cigarettes.
Just like, hey, we're going to put a stop to public drinking. You will if you're seen walking around drinking, the fine will be $1,000. And it won't be anything that ever goes away if you fucking file bankruptcy. And just start and just make it and drinking would go down. And you're right. There'd be way less sexual crime, unwanted pregnancies, all sorts of shit would go down. Accidents. Yeah. Plummet. Oh, here we go. Noah's Ark. Oh, here we go. Hey, dude, no one's going to fucking heaven with those earrings on either. Let me tell you right there in your picture, your profile pic. I don't give a fuck what you did. You saved Mother Teresa from a burning building. You still fucking don't get in. I don't know if you get kicked into hell, but you ain't getting in.
We have you on the list, but sir, please remove those earrings.
Yes.
That's not part of dress code.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. I thought it was the light.
Depends on which
I thought-
interpretation.
Someone, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Is it the life? No one comes to the Father except through me. Sevan Matosian, April 23rd, 2023. I'm going to hell. Okay. Have you heard Mother Teresa was a child trafficker? No, but I'm open. I'm so open to it.
My goodness.
Okay, 581. I got this abortion clip that I'm fucking dying to show you guys. I don't know where it is. There's so many good ones today. I want to see how are you guys on time? How are you on time, Caleb?
I'm good for now.
Okay. Caleb with the concise and clearance. Okay, I don't see a text from my wife, so I should be pretty chill. Okay. Action.
Seems to be the next stage of the woke agenda. If you don't like this, you're a bigot.
So this right here is the pedo flag. The top two stripes are blue to represent attraction to young boys. The bottom two stripes are pink to represent attraction to young girls. The inner yellow stripes are to represent child.
This seems to be the next stage of the woke agenda. If you don't like this, you're a bigot.
So this here is the pedo.
What this guy is basically saying is that the pedo flag is coming. And to be honest with you, it might be up in front of like your local recycling center already. These are by the way,
recycling center.
Well, all the public places in my town have these flags now that I don't know what they mean. And
wait,
like
this
flags
flag?
like
This flag?
Well, one that looks like this. I didn't look at it specifically, but it's one that's definitely like about genital mutilation and stuff. They got a genital mutilation flag up at my local because I drive by it every day. Taking the kids to jiu-jitsu.
Interesting.
And and so don't think everyone just be calm but outraged. The pedophile flag is either here or it's coming. And just so you know, once again, I'm not advocating being a Republican, but the Republicans you'll never see this on a building with Republicans in it, like who support this. Never. This is only supported by one political ideology. Well, I don't know if just one, but there's one in our country, the United States, that supports this. Under the guise of being accepting. Okay, so just be prepared. It's if it's not here, it's coming. The pedo flag. And that's why people like Garrett are like, hey, we're not down with Don Lemon. Like that's Don Lemon's thing. You have to know that. There's a connection there. I don't know if he's actually a pedo, but like he's supporting that kind of acceptance.
There's no way it goes this far.
Bro.
You think so?
Yes.
Caleb, what do you think? You think we're going to see this flag around?
And dude,
somebody's going to get fucking killed. A lot of people are going to get killed. There's no way. Did you watch that video of the guy?
I hope you guys are right. I hope it's like, wow, Sevan's really gone right wing. So we're going to put a Q. It's the Sevan Q. It's the Q Sevan podcast. But I don't know. I think it's here.
Did you see the video of the guy who got caught by some people at being a pedophile, and then he jumped into traffic and killed himself?
No. Hold that thought, Kelly. I want to come back. What? Aren't all the politicians on both sides pedophiles? Yeah, probably. For sure they are. But what I'm saying is that the ideology coming from the left, for sure, Allison. But the ideology coming from the left is like openly pushing for it. They're openly pushing for it, and the right is not. The right has they got religion that makes like being gay and being a pedophile wrong. And so like I'm on that team for a little bit until it goes away. You know what I mean? Like I'm not for spraying my house down with water and ruining all the contents inside, but if there's a fire inside, I'll make an exception. And that's basically what I'm doing right now. Please bring the hose and just put it in one of my windows and turn it on full blast. But Sevan, all your shit will get ruined. It's okay. I do it. There's a fire in there that needs to fucking be put out. Well, there's the question. Jake Chapman. A straight man sleeping with a cat. Why can't people just be nice to others without the promise of heaven or eternal damnation?
Yeah, the reward punishment thing is interesting, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Caleb. A guy got accused of being a pedophile, and to take care of it, he ran out into traffic and got killed.
Yeah, I think they did like one of those. It was like a honey trap or whatever for this guy, and then whenever they met up with him, he realized that he was like trapped. It wasn't even like cops or anything. I think it was just some random people, and then they went to chase him down to like catch him, basically. And then, I don't think I can show this honestly, but this is just a picture of the video of him running down the sidewalk, and then he just kind of like thinks about it, and then a big like one of those straight trucks with like a moving truck starts driving down the road, and he just jumps in front of it, and then he like literally dives underneath the front axles, and it kills him.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm glad you showed the discretion not to show this. Not because I don't want the people to see it, but because like I don't want to get banned. So thank you. I'm glad someone has a fucking brain on the show.
Yeah, if anybody wants to see it, just DM me and I'll send it to you.
I vow to never donate again on this day. God is my witness. Donate what? Donate what?
I looked back because they were saying like, why haven't you answered Trish's question? And I was like, wait, I didn't see it come in. But Trish did donate $1.99 and asked us, or $2.99 maybe, and asked us what the best shoes for running in a weight vest was.
Go Rucks.
Oh, thank God. I thought she was never going to donate again. As God is, Trish, this is God speaking.
Go Rucks.
I did not see what you said about never donating again. So feel free to donate again. I did not witness that. Thank you. Barefoot. It's a trick question. Barefoot. But it's kind of cool that you respect my opinion. Okay, 580. African American isn't an ethnicity. Not yet. Not yet. I don't even accept Mexicans, to be honest. I really
think
don't.
Hispanic is an ethnicity, but not Mexican.
I'm on team human.
Yeah. I'm there was a guy who used to listen to the show Giggy Jiggy. Oh, this is hilarious. Representative Marlene Terry melts down after she gets called out for race baiting. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Okay, here we go.
I ask you what you identify as.
Identify?
Ethnicity.
I identify as an American.
Not an African American? Are you African American?
I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or do any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
Oh, I'm promoting race baiting? I'm promoting race baiting? No, I think you're promoting privilege, tokenism. Can I ask you what you identify?
What?
Sevi, have you ever done Murph barefoot? No. You know what? I should try to do Murph today on my fasting day. I wonder if I could do it in 2 hours. I have a 16-pound vest. Oh, I can't do pull-ups. I can't do pull-ups right now. I'm still
Ring
out.
roast.
What?
Ring roast.
I can't do any. I can't. Maybe. I don't know if I could. I could pull a sled with a rope. Yeah, she was panicking. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy that her attempt at saying ethnicity. I would like to give ethnicity a better definition than the one we saw in I hate to be in denial, but you gotta like if you're Israeli, that's a nationality. If you're Jew, you get into some weird. Jew's a little vague. You get into some weird territory because that's your religion, and I don't know if it's really your ethnicity. I don't think it is. But if you're like Somali, and you're you know what I mean, like you're 6'9" and 105 pounds, and you have a fucking head that looks like a shovel, and you're black and you're Somali, and that's your ethnicity. If you're fucking like 5'10" and fucking good looking and built like a brick shit house, and you're melanated and you live in Kenya, you're Kenyan. I mean, those people look different. If you're If you look like Kim Kardashian, you're Armenian. I mean, it's just. But also, Armenian is also a language. But I don't think we have an ethnicity on this continent. That'd be crazy if African American became the first ethnicity on this continent. This continent doesn't. Sorry. I guess if like you're making this up. Sorry for any indigenous people out there. If you're like Choctaw, is that a real Indian tribe? Choctaw? I just made that up.
Yeah.
It is. Oh.
Yeah.
If you're Choctaw.
Impressive, both of you. Assuming that it's true.
Now that's a tribe, but I think that's also an ethnicity. Yeah, this is a problem too. What Jay Hartle saying, we are also Asian. Oh, there it is. Okay, so
fucking awesome.
look at Mr. Read a Book over there is getting schooled by me and Kayla. Look, we just blew fucking Susan's hair back. Some fucking
awesome.
Yeah, so that's a problem too, because we are also Asian. And actually, when I applied to college, I did check Asian in the box. Yeah, I need to work it out a little bit more. I need to talk to the people at Webster's. What about 5'11" on California hormones and average at best looking? Half white, half Hispanic. My ethnicity is American. Your nationality is American. You're a classic American, though. I would say you're very good looking.
Your ethnicity is alpha.
Yeah. And you're fit and you're cool as shit. So there. But yeah, you don't really, I don't think everyone has an ethnicity. You have an ethnic makeup. Yeah. African Americans, but black dudes in the United States have ethnic makeup. Like the Nigerians here are Nigerian. That's their nationality and their ethnicity. Yeah. Really black, smart, wealthy, stay married for a long time. Those are some of the good immigrants. Nigerian. 579. How come my parents didn't question this? Who thought it was okay to put shit in our water? I just don't understand why you would put anything in the water supply. Why would you ever do that? I just don't understand that.
Was that voted on?
Pardon me?
How did that happen? I don't know the origin.
I don't know either. Someone stupid, some stupid science. Some like stupid science. Like most science is. Here we go. Action. Everyone knows this now too. This is what's crazy. If you're still brushing your teeth with fluoride, you better fucking wake the fuck up.
This is going to make you mad. On March 15th, 2023, the U.S. government finally released a report it had suppressed since May of 22 on the effects of fluoride on our kids. It took a lawsuit to get the results of this 6-month review of dozens and dozens of studies, which was funded by the taxpayers. Here's the conclusion I pulled right off page 467 of the report. The consistency of the data supports an inverse association between fluoride exposure and children's IQ. That means as fluoride goes up from drinking water, toothpaste, dental cleanings, whatever, IQ goes down in the developing brains of our kids. Now, who would want to block access to that information from the public? Oh, probably dentists. There are arguments both ways on fluoride and tooth decay, but nobody expected neurological damage. And withholding information is never, ever the answer to anything. Shame on those who would even consider it. I think it's finally time to stop putting fluoride in our drinking water. Dentists be damned. People can choose to supplement it with tablets if they want, but they can't really choose not to drink the city water, right? Something like 98% of the Western world doesn't drink fluoridated water, and there's no outcry that their kids' teeth are rotting out of their mouths. You can filter fluoride out of your drinking water with a reverse osmosis system, a distillation system, or an ion exchange type of filtration. Let's help our kids keep their smarts. We worked hard to give that to them, right? This is going to make you...
It just comes down to discernment and trusting your own. Hey, does that sound smart? It would be like giving, making the entire U.S. military complex all take the same injection. That just sounds absolutely batshit crazy, right? I saw Caleb twitch. Dude, it's crazy. It doesn't even make sense. Jeff Bako, that guy must be a blast at the barbecue. Jeff Birchfield screwing up every argument that I ever make. So what about the naturally fluoridated water such as Jip water in the panhandle of Texas? I bless you, my son, drink away. I have no idea. I'm just saying, I don't know. I haven't done enough research about fluoride other than to know my wife doesn't let us be anywhere around it. But I do have the discernment and the awareness and the common sense to be like, hey, nothing should be put in the water supply, in the entire country's water supply. It just sounds way too fucking dangerous. If for some reason it was bad, then what? In 5 days, we're all dead.
Yeah. Who does it benefit the most?
Okay. Science.
9 out of 10 scientists agree.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 disagree.
578. This is great. I remember this. I remember when the word mongoloid. You guys might be too young. Do you remember when they used to call retarded people mongoloids? And then they switched to retard because mongoloid was fucked up. This is a great bit right here. Okay, action. This is so good.
My grandma used to do it, and when she would reference mentally challenged people in the old days, she called them mongoloids. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm working with some mongoloids at the church," and then people like my mom would be like, "You bitch." They're called retarded, like because that was the PC term for that time. That was normal. And then my mom would say "Oh, I'm at the March of Dimes with the retarded kids," and then me and my sisters would be like, "Mom, it's called mentally challenged, Mom." And then turn to special needs, and then someday I'll be an old man, and I'll be like, "I'm helping with the special needs," and they're gonna be, they're called ice cream enthusiasts or whatever the fuck. See what I'm saying? Whatever you're doing will later be trash. You're not good. You're just current. Here's the thing. My grandma used to do it.
That's good.
I remember mongoloid. I remember when that was going out and it switched to retard. I was young. I was very young. Mongoloid. Yeah.
The fuck?
One. I don't know if I should say this. My sister's listening. I don't want my sister to hear this. I need to tell her in private first. Philip Kelly, Sevan, I think you're cool as fuck too. That shirt looks amazing on you. Thank you. Do you know what I do? This shirt's a little tight on me, and the pants I'm wearing are a little tight on me, but they're kind of like my favorite shirt, my favorite pants, but it's my fasting day. And so within a few hours, my inflammation will start dropping, and then they'll fit nicely. It's a game I play all the time. The dentist we just went to tried to give my 5-year-old fluoride tablets to chew like candy. Wow. It's amazing, right? Thank you, Philip. I appreciate it. Okay, but it's so, I remember when it was okay. It was I thought it was a compliment to say, you can't say Oriental carpet anymore either, I guess.
Oriental rug.
577. We started the show with this idea. And for me, this is a very, very potent idea and very meaningful to me because there's some stuff that this guy says in here specifically that really hit me hard. I was raised to get from point A to point B based on the fact that everyone around me, my family, my relatives, and society thought that point B was the place to go. No one ever considered where I wanted to go. No one ever said to me, what do you want to be? What goals do you have? What would make things fun for you? And I could have said, well, I really want a girlfriend, or someday I'd like to, have an apartment with the girl and then we could bathe together. I would like to have a job. I'd like to make it so I have a job that makes enough money to where I don't have to worry about how much gas costs. I want to have a house where I can plant my own trees. No one ever asked. No one ever asked me. No one ever, and then be like, okay, well, I can help you get to those goals. Hey, I'd like a pretty girl who's nice to me, who likes me for who I am. I'd be like, okay, well then let's work on yourself. Let's get you fit and let's work on your brain. Let's clean your brain up a little bit so that you attract someone who really likes you for who you are.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have the tools for that though, or maybe they didn't have a vision for themselves. So how are they going to help you cast your own and set goals if they're not doing it themselves?
Right. And they were just tools of the man. Put fluoride in the water, go to college, graduate, buy a house. Like they were more interested in the like buy a house, get married, have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I didn't. What's crazy is I had never any interest to fucking get married, buy a house, or have kids. But it's what I have. Never had interest, but everyone around me did. Everyone around me did. I never had those interests, and I still got them. And so I have a, as you guys know, I'm not short of bragging about it. I have a really fun life. My life is so fucking fun. But listen to what this guy's saying, and this is going to change the trajectory of how I speak to my kids. Listening to what this man said, there's some really, and the most powerful shit I think in there is the nuanced stuff, not the big picture stuff he's saying. Okay, action.
Lions don't hang out with hyenas. They don't. Lions hang out with lions. Because a lion only hangs out with other lions, then the standard for a lion is being a lion. The issue with us in success sometimes is that we don't intentionally hang around people who are what we want to be. We just don't do it. If we can understand the importance of the proximity to excellence, well, then the standard becomes excellent. Oftentimes we get advice from a friend or a family member or somebody that we know who've never even been in the space that we want to go. This is about the power of proximity. Most of us don't understand the importance of closing the gap to excellence. Like, we got to get closer to excellence. When you're around excellence, then you think excellent and you produce excellence in everything that you do. The expectation for you is excellent. Sometimes we listen to people who want us to win, but not more than they win themselves. So you get advice from people about being successful, but the undertone of it is jealousy and envy. That's not the direction that we need to go. Close the gap to excellence, hang out with lions. Surround yourself with people who have identity traits that you want to work towards. Excellence is always a proximity issue. Get around excellence.
And so our parents, I want to switch that thing. He says, like, if you take advice from someone who doesn't have your success, and that you're, even though they might be trying to help you, your success isn't what's most important in their mind, and there might be jealousy issues. But from the parent standpoint, let me tweak that a little bit. And there's parents who want their kids to be successful so that the parent then feels good about themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when my sister got married, my dad wanted to make sure he got to invite his friends, or they're concerned. Like I still hear people around me talk about, like, they're bragging about, oh, that family has doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And no one ever, I've never heard anyone brag about me. My son planted 100 fruit trees in his yard, because that's not what's important to them, but it's fucking so worth bragging about. And so just remember that it's not that your parents are jealous of you, but they're going to try to push you in a direction maybe that's for what they want, or based on what society thinks of them. Just be in tune with what you want. Or if you're not in tune with what you want yet, like I'm not always in tune with what I want. It's actually very rarely I am, but I have surrounded myself with people who are excellent. And it's kind of like what my friend Travis Bajent told me. He's not going to hang around normal people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I bet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I bet Sevan's mom brags that her son is a podcaster. No one in my family is proud of this podcast. Except my sister, probably. And my mom's maybe proud of it, but closeted proud of it. You know what I mean? Like
closeted proud.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she's proud of it. She's
like she'll give you a little nod when it's just you and her, but she won't admit it in front of a group.
Yeah.
Hey, to this point too, one thing that's a huge advantage for people growing up now with the power of the internet and access to all different sorts of people is you could really choose what you consume. And that's not just necessarily the food you eat. It's also what you choose to watch and what you choose to kind of see, and then also what you choose to listen to all the time. So if you're somebody who maybe doesn't have those people around you, or maybe the access to being physically with that individual is not quite there, start just paying real close attention to what you're allowing in, all the inputs that are coming in, and you can control and tune those towards people who you want to emulate or want to have traits like, or want to move towards those same goals in life. And that's something that's really cool. And I think it's super disrespectful for all the generations that's come before us that we don't really take advantage of this time.
Oh, 100%. You parents out there, you can, well, well, just to give you an idea. So I wrote, as I saw this piece last night, I thought, if you were to ask, probably in the first 20 years of my life, I had these goals and they kind of never changed. I wanted to be the funniest man alive. I wanted to be with God, and I wanted girls to find me attractive. And those are probably my 3 biggest goals I've had in my life. Like, just sitting down, just when I saw this yesterday, I thought, oh, those are the things. Those things are probably still true. I still probably, I mean, kind of really, to be honest, as long as my wife finds me attractive, I'm at the 99-yard line. And I'm not just saying that. It really is like that.
Yeah. I didn't even think you were usually you weren't really into writing down goals, right?
No, never. The only time I ever wrote down, one time, maybe in junior high, I wrote down what I thought my life would turn out to be. And I still have that written somewhere, but I'm off course a little bit.
Would you go
at
back
the end,
and read it?
at the end, I was going to be president of the United States. Say that again.
Both. Do you get to go back and read it? Do you go back and read it, or do you not want to read it because you're like, I don't?
No, I would go back and read it. I don't care. I would go back and read it.
Yeah. A couple years back, I started writing out goals in different categories, like finance, blah, blah, blah. And
that's kind of cool. Keep them in different categories. I like that.
I do it in different categories. And then whatever the goal is, there has to be a habit that goes with it. Either a habit you have to drop or a habit you have to pick up. Right. So if you write down, I want to have more money. Okay. Well, first we'd define what more money was. And then secondly, I'd say, okay, so what's a habit you either need to start, or the skill set that you need to learn to get you closer towards that goal? Or what's the habit you need to stop doing? Majority of the time it comes with reduction, right?
Yeah, I could do that with my kids. What you just said, I could take that now and add that to my kids.
Yeah. And what I like about it is it gives you this catalog of where you were thinking at that time, what was important to you, how that evolved, and the different courses that life kind of takes, right? Like, I would have never thought that we'd been on this show together with a phone call when I called you and was like, hey, I think you should do this. What's something I could help with, right? There's no way we would have predicted it. But if you kind of look at all the different goals that I've set over the years and you look backwards at them, you could see the dots connecting. Right. And then what it's done for me is it's kind of, I've almost just given myself up a little bit in terms of stressing about what's going to happen. Because if I look back at those, I said, look how funny, the big thing is I wanted to make free and clear $10,000 one month. That was a huge goal, just pocket money. And you know what I mean? And so once you kind of accomplish that, you look back and you're like, whoa, back then I thought that was going to be life-changing. And now you realize living in California, that isn't shit. Right, 10 grand's like groceries one month. Right. So it's just kind of cool to see that. So if it not only is it a category of where I want to go, but it's also really cool as a collection of where you were in that time, what your goals were and how they've evolved.
Right.
So even if you're not into it, just for that purpose alone, I think
you ask someone who's 20, hey, if I can give you all your goals right now and take 10 years off your life, they'll probably accept it. You ask someone who's 60 that, and they're like, fuck that. It's the same thing. Jeff Bezos would give Amazon away today if he could be 15 again.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. To start over, knowing what you know.
Give away your $1 trillion and you get to start over.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's important. One way, if you're not sure what to do, what I'm doing, because I'm not sure how to act on this, and I've always been this way, so I've kind of patted myself back, is just keep nurturing. 1%ers don't have. Oh, this is good. 1%ers don't have to write down goals. I remember when I was a 1%er. I wonder if I still am a 1%er.
What is that now? $465,000 annually or something?
Yeah, it depends on how you do it. It's how much your net worth is one way to look at it, or it's $450,000 a year. I'm definitely not in that category. The thing is I'll give you an example. My kid, my wife bought my kid a magic set, and it had 23 tricks in it, and he learned 8 of them. and he just can't stop doing around the house. So then I just bought him another magic kit that had 47 magic kits in it. And he learned like 17 of them. So then he's like, hey, I need a magic kit. And they've been going on for like 3 months now, Avi. And he's like, hey, I need a case like a magician has. So for $38, I bought him a case that a magician has that had another 7 tricks in it. And he learned all 7 of those. And now he can't stop doing magic tricks every day. So I just encourage it. Yesterday, as I'm just walking by a liquor store, I see like next to the Jack Daniels in the window, they got like decks of cards, right? So we go in there and he's like, what are we doing in here? And I'm like, I'll take a deck of cards. And the dude's like, blue or red? And Avi knew right away. He goes, blue. You know what I mean? Just nurture that shit.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a fucking god because I walked by a liquor store and went inside and bought him a deck of cards. Caleb.
Have you read the book Amoralman?
No.
By DelGaudio.
Oh, good.
Yeah, incredible. He also had a special on Hulu. It's called In and of Itself. But he did the same thing.
Oh, did I see that? Is that the one where he stands up in front of a stage and people?
And he does an act, and it's like a play, but it's also a magic show in the same.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. Because in the story of Amoralman, it's like his story. But as a kid, when he would leave school, his mom was a firefighter, so he didn't get to go. He wouldn't go home. He would just go across the street to the magic store, and so he would just hang out with the guy who owned the magic store, and he would just like learn all these magic tricks, all these card tricks, all this other stuff, and then now he's like this incredible magician, like showcase type person. So I thought that was kind of interesting. If anybody wants to read it, it's a great book.
Yeah, I think I bought that book. I haven't read it, but I watched that show on Hulu when you told me about it, and I was crazy impressed.
We should try to get that guy on the show. I doubt he'd actually come on, but
I think I reached out to him.
Did you?
Yeah. Can we get an evening show with Susan and Caleb on the Sevan Network? That's a gentle way of saying with no me. Sure. I mean, look at the tact in that. That is great. What would I do? I could just work the back end.
Yeah, you can work my back end anytime.
Yeah, I just work the back end. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is another the great observation by Daniel Garrity. None of the great PhD students I work with want to be college professors either. Something needs to change. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if something needs to change, but I get it. Like, yeah, if you're a great fucking student, you don't want to just continue to be a teacher. 576. This what you are about to see is what happens when you scratch the surface of subjects like the 49ers or global warming or climate change or fluoride in the water or anything. If you scratch the surface for more than 30 seconds, weird shit starts happening. But because people are woke and they're asleep, they refuse to. Instead, they become defensive. Watch what happens to John Kerry here. It's so crazy that and that's why having people on the show who like believe the earth is flat is so good. It's such a good, or UFOs or ghosts, it's such a good practice to be open-minded.
Consensus on parts per million of CO2 in the atmosphere.
About 406 today.
Okay, 406. Are you aware?
350 being the level that scientists have said is dangerous.
Okay, are you aware? 350 is dangerous. Wow. Are you aware that since mammals have walked the planet, the average has been over 1,000 parts per million?
Yeah, but we weren't walking the planet. Let me just share with you that we now know that definitively at no point during the past 800,000 years has atmospheric CO2 been as high as it is today.
The reason you chose 800,000 years ago is because for 200 million years before that, it was greater than it is today. And I'm going to submit for the record.
Yeah, but there weren't human beings. I mean, there was a different world, folks. We didn't have 7 billion people.
So how did it get to 2,000 parts per million if we humans weren't here?
Because there were all kinds of geologic events happening on Earth which spewed up.
Did geology stop when we got on the planet?
Mr. Chairman, this is just not a serious conversation.
Your testimony is not serious.
He's just fucking John
The
Kerry
consensus
up.
on-
He's just fucking destroying John Kerry. He's like, and then John Kerry reverts to this isn't a serious conversation. If you were doing the math in your head, it was just some like big number math going on there. By big number, I just mean like you had to be able to subtract 766 from 2000. You had to like just do some like really advanced third grade math there to keep up. But basically what this guy is saying is you have no proof. You have no proof. It's just some scare tactics.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's amazing. And hey, I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying why can't they just have a discussion? Why can't we just get people to have a discussion?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's asking some great questions. And when he fucking checkmates John Kerry should be like, dude, I have to get back to you on that's great shit. I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe everything's happening according to plan. And instead he says this isn't a serious conversation. It's like, wow. Dude, it's just math. Hey, all of them are like that. All unfortunately, I don't want to be fucking super fucking, right-wing psychopath, but it's all, every single one of them happens like that if you just start scratching the surface. 575 Kiss. This is kind of cool. I don't know if those of you at home are going to be able to see this, but this is I'd like to hear yours and Caleb's take on this to see if this is staged or not, did they plan this? I want to say no. I don't understand how this is reality, what you're about to see, but here we go.
Is there anything more rock and roll than this?
Here we go. Brace yourself for impact. His hair's on fire, dude. He keeps singing. Dude, that was a legit fire in his hair, bro. His hair was on fire for like 5 seconds. Flames that were bigger than his head.
That's awesome.
Dude, that was dope.
That's not Kiss. It's a cover band called Hairball. Okay, my bad.
Hairball, hair on fire.
No, that's true. They used to play in like at our college.
That band?
That band. It was. They used to just tour the Midwest, bro. It was crazy.
That's amazing.
Dude, it's wild. But yeah, that's not surprising. That's fucking dope.
So is that planned?
No way.
No. Okay, good. Well, shit. Then fuck that. Boys and girls, that is what you call focus.
Yeah.
Dude.
He either had like total trust in his team, or he was just like, if I die, I die.
Oh man. Okay. 574. Funny, not funny. Oh, this is good too.
Probably smelled so bad after that.
Yeah. I love how the guy just hung out there and made sure it was really out, the fire.
Yeah.
A lot of little conundrums as a liberal, right? Like I live in Venice, California, in LA. Yeah. And there's a lot of homeless people in Venice, but I'm from New York, so it's hard to take LA homeless people seriously. It's like once you work with the best, you know what I mean? So one day I get home and I got an email, paper email, a letter, we'll call it. And the letter says, we're going to open a homeless shelter. And as a liberal, I'm like, that's great. And then I keep reading it. It says, across the street from your house. I was like, oh, shit. It was like being on a game show. Like, how liberal are you? Like, I wrote a black TV show. Yeah, like my neighbors want to protest and shit. I'm like, I'm not going to protest. I'm going to move, but I'm not going to. How liberal are you to be a funny game show about it?
Oh my goodness.
I wrote a black TV show.
So true.
573. No one wins. No, I mean, I know people know this, but let me reiterate, because it just seems like society doesn't know it. No one wins by making other people lose. Like me making fun of Sousa doesn't make me cooler. Me taking Sousa's money doesn't make people in totality richer. causing white people to lose doesn't help black people. It actually hurts everyone. Regardless of their skin color or whatever, you want really rich, successful fucking people in the community. You don't want to live in like a prison where everyone has the same sheet, same toothbrush, same size house. Life sucks. Okay, here we go. Action. I can't believe this is on Dr. Phil.
That you will find there were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. If you're talking about remedies, we've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. To dissect it,
we have to be identified more than just victims of oppression. Man, it's becoming a theme for this show. It's like when Sarah Sigmund's daughter came on here and was schooling me about values. And you got to have values are a great thing to like glom onto for part of your identity. Look at the Mayhem Empire. They have values. They run the business on values. Look at having values. This thing keeps coming up over and over too, that there were shitloads of fucking melanated people who owned slaves. What are you going to do about that? How are you going to work that out? I mean, it's kind of stupid. The whole reparations thing is pure idiocy anyway. And why is that? And the simplest way is because then what are we going to do? Are we going to give Mexico back to? When does it stop? There's no end to it. No one alive today should be responsible for the shit people did 3 generations ago. Yeah, of course, poor white people are fucking whatever oppression or victim mentality you're claiming that melanated people have, white people have it 10 times worse. For sure. No one's even looking out for them. Anyway, I'm just happy to see the conversation happening on Dr. Phil. It's cool, right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was around still.
Me neither. I didn't even know there was date TV anymore. 572. And God, wait till you guys see 571. Once again, it's unbelievable how stupid the Biden administration is. Wait till you see 571. Would you think that before we get to 572, would you think that the head of the ATF, what's ATF stand for? Tobacco, firearms. What's the A stand for? Alcohol, thank you. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Do you think that the director of that should know the definition of an assault weapon?
Probably.
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. ATF, one of the largest organizations in this country, government organizations. You think that he should be able to define what an assault weapon is, right? He should be able to define what alcohol is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He should know some stats around it.
Speak clearly about it. Know
how
about
many
it
drunk people are involved in gun violence, things like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
some basic. Yeah, okay. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, 572. Adam Carolla, watch this. This is, Adam, I said this 3 years ago, but I still love you. Here we go.
Sent a tweet out 2.5 years ago that said this is killing old people and sick people, and the rest of you got played, and who's getting played next time. And I was pilloried for that. And I had some celebrity friends call me and say, take the tweet down. And I said, no, I'm not taking it down because I'm right. They want to turn the page. They want to shut down schools, ruin kids, get people deplatformed, fired, disgraced amongst other colleagues. And now, oops, we were wrong. Right. Well, turn the other cheek and turn the page. Yeah. No, that's not how life works.
And you went out of your way to harm people.
Right.
These people were called, many of them were called journalists. They should be falling on their sword. It is disgusting what they did.
People always say, well, then what's the punishment for the journalists who were wrong about everything? And the answer is never listen to them again. Well, it's because that's the best punishment you could ever give to a journalist. Just everyone ignore them. They're wrong. I sent a
Hey, that's oh shit, something happened on Twitch. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's on Twitch's end.
Yeah, that's a trick. Oh, okay, good. There you go, man. So Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, for those of you who don't know, they used to have a show called Loveline. They were on a show together, and Adam Carolla was the comedian, and Dr. Drew was the doctor, and people would call and ask for sex advice. It would happen once a week. It was a huge show when I was younger. And Dr. Drew ended up being a huge proponent of the 49ers, super fan. And then he woke up. And then here's Dr. Drew. He's a full, TV doctor, Dr. Drew. But he woke up and he's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And what they're saying is that the journalists fucked everybody. They just went around. By the way, I'm like I said, I've been looking into the Japanese internment camps and things like that. And I was looking, FDR made it. Franklin Delaware, what's the guy's name? Franklin
Delano.
Franklin, I was going to say Delaware. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Not good guy. Stopped the networks, the two TV networks that were around then. They were censored. They were not allowed to have dissenting opinions or say things bad about him or against him. And man, it's some pretty nasty shit I'm reading. Democrats, of course. Michael C., there's no day TV. There's just the Sevan Podcast. A 9-year-old girl was shot and killed blocks from me. She was riding in a car with her uncle, and rival gang members saw him and shot up the car. The uncle survived and wouldn't testify.
Mm-hmm.
Some happy local news. Fergie, Sevan, you can own an automatic machine gun if you pay for a $1,000 license. AKs will fall under the same license like they did after the Brady Act. It's big money grab for the government. Sounds about right. Jeffrey Birchfield, Delano, Franklin Delano, Roosevelt. All right. 571 assault weapons. This is the director as appointed by Mr. Joe Biden of the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Department. Sorry, this is depressing what I'm about to show you.
The head of the ATF can't define assault weapon? During a budget request meeting for the ATF, Representative Elsie asked for the definition of assault weapon.
Would you define an assault weapon for me? Unlike you, I'm not a firearms expert to the same extent as you may be, but we have people at ATF who can talk about velocity of firearms.
Why should he be able to define the term assault weapon? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because he is the director of the ATF. And ATF doesn't stand for alcohol, tobacco, and frankfurters. No. That F stands for firearms, okay? They enforce and regulate the laws relating to firearms over the entire country. So if anyone should be able to define that term, it's this guy. Okay, now in his defense on not being able to define the term assault weapon, when was the last time you ever heard anyone in the Biden administration throw around the term assault weapon?
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
The head of the
The only thing I don't like about this video is Star Wars stuff is so stupid.
Caleb has Star Wars stuff behind him.
Yeah, he has to. He has to balance out the show. The DEI Council made us keep Caleb. Military tall Star Wars. We checked 3 boxes. Oh my goodness. That's signs that Caleb used to be a liberal. Any Star Wars shit you see. Okay, brace yourself. If for anyone who had any doubt that this isn't it's too bad 12 Daily Doses isn't here for this. This is really just me putting my dick out on the line. I should not show this 570. This is just such a right-wing fucking Craig's Tank Reeves. Tank, blaze one up, buddy. Pull out a blunt. This is for you, baby. I want to dedicate this to you, Tank. You're the man, Tank. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you why this show gets confused as a right-wing fucking QAnon motherfucking conspiracy show, because we show shit like this, which I absolutely say with complete embarrassment, I fucking love this video.
Oh, great.
It is just it's so Kid Rock fucking over the top Christian but I just love it. I don't know. This is indulging to me.
Tonight, the definition for pervert. It means to lead someone away from what is considered right, natural, or acceptable. This book has been permitted in 6 schools in the Wake County public school system. I'll read just a little bit of this perversion that we have allowed in the school system. So he bends me over the bed and on the blowjob tips. It says, use your, doesn't it make you cringe as I read that to you? Makes you crawl in your skin. It's a dastardly deed. The question today is, who is the pervert that's allowing this to be purchased and delivered to our libraries? Who is the pervert that signs off on this bill? Who are you? What do you stand for to accept this? Can you be in your right mind and be decent as a human to allow this to be at the access and the fingertips of children? We know who the perverts are. There's one political party in this country that supports this junk. It's the Democrat Party. It's a party that castrates children, mutilates children, perverts children, grooms children, murders children, and indoctrinates children. We know who the perverts are. Who is the pervert?
As I said many times before, I'm Jill's husband. Teaching isn't just what she does, it's who she is.
I have never felt prouder of our profession.
We know who the perverts are. There's one political party in this country that supports this junk.
People fear what they don't know. And it's not because of intellectual incapability, it's just lack of exposure.
We are going to transform our nation's education system. And when we do that, we will change the course of our future forever.
Trump country. Jeff Bako with a very astute observation. When you know what happens when you point fingers, 4 fingers are pointed back at yourself. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird one. I hear you. Hey, I do like the fact that he's in there showing a book about that's in the school system about 2 boys sucking each other off and ass fucking each other, and then he's like, which one of you approved this? The purchase of this?
Oh shit.
Come on, man. My God.
Come on, man.
It's
Mike's comment here. That's exactly what I lost into that video too. I was like, what the fuck?
And the picture of Hunter.
Oh yeah. I think it's only 3 fingers pointing back at you. Well, the Baco's fucking drunk. He would cut Bako some slack. 4-3, whatever. Come on, don't be mean to him. You'll lose him again. Man, that's some fucking incredible fucking right-wing propaganda. That shit gets the base going, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
They fire that up on the big screen for your local NASCAR. MAGA
Trump,
flags are
Trump,
flying,
Trump,
baby.
Trump. Yeah.
Amen, brother.
And like a crazy 4x4 comes. Bam!
Big old pair of tits in the dash.
Giant flag on a pole that's bigger than the big truck makes your truck look small.
Nuts hanging off of the trailer hitch.
Yes.
Hey, there's a dude who drives down my street every day with a giant flag in the back of his truck. I'm actually going to have him stop and take a picture of it. I want to talk to him. I know it does make you want to go out and buy a 4x4, right? And a gun rack and some shit. Thank you. Jeff also doing the math quickly. Actually, only 3 fingers. Jeff was like,
Wait a minute.
Jeff's a scientist. He ran a few studies on that. Jeff, did you have that peer reviewed? Did you send that to some of your coworkers? Yeah, 3. Jeff is correct. Peer reviewed. Cornholio. This is who else like me could not follow the simplest of directions in the Nopen? I can't stand with my feet together and touching. Invalid score. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Well.
All right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's flip the script on this. I want you to watch this one very carefully. This one you have to see. And maybe this is all just CGI and we're just being fucking manipulated. But this one gave me the fucking chills. I want you to see when this little girl looks up and kisses. I want you to pick 569. This is some fucking crazy shit right here. If this is real, watch this. It's a baby standing on a tombstone. It's like a 2-year-old kid standing on a tombstone.
That just gave me the chill. No, but it just gave me the chill.
Oh, this is gonna fucking rock your shit. Maybe this is what AI is doing. It's gonna it's like the Vatican AI trying to get us to believe in God. But this one's gonna fucking. This is for my Christian supporters out there. This is for you to help you establish your belief in God. Here we go. Action.
She saw her daughter one last time before crossing over. From unknown sources, a mother who unfortunately lost her life in a car accident was visited by her daughter and sister at her resting place.
Where are you waving at, Leigh?
Bye. Bye. Yeah.
You can see her shout saying goodbye to her mother as she points to the sky. Many people believe this was the spirit of her sister saying goodbye to her daughter before crossing over. She saw her daughter.
How about when she goes up and kisses? Who the fuck was she kissing?
Wow. Kid's too young to be acting that out, huh? How old do you think that little girl is?
Learned behavior the kid has seen adults do this year.
No way.
That's the point that I was making. How often do you spend enough time and see other people at a graveyard to where they're gonna mimic?
Literally. She's probably only been to that grave one other time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not crying. You're crying. Yeah. I mean, dude, this is Jeff Bako throwing down another shot of whiskey. Kid has a great imagination. Yeah, the clock being with some sarcasm. Yeah, she's seen it for decades. Meaning she's fucking not old enough to learn that yet. Kid was given LSD. I don't believe it. I know, right? Y'all never heard of green screen? Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
I believe that one more. I mean, how do you know she was there enough times to mimic it?
God, it's intense, right?
Hey, this is reminds me of the stuff where somebody gets in a car accident and they're in a coma or they were pronounced dead for a certain amount of time and they came back, and then when they came back they could vividly describe the car accident or the people in the hospital room and shit like that.
Yeah.
Trippy, right? So much we don't know. So
Sean M with a very valid point. 3 of that kid's fingers are pointed back at the kid, meaning that the kid's the ghost. the kid is the ghost, and wow. So the kid is the mom, actually.
Reincarnate.
Holy shit.
Guys.
Well, I'm gonna go with that.
God damn.
Yeah.
But he died.
Go with that.
Lights out, you're gone black. The end.
The topic I just want you to know something before I show this next clip. The topic of equal pay for the sexes interests me zero. So, but the interest of but I do have an interest in black guys, melanated guys. It's sort of a specialty of mine. I'm hyper focused on it. But this piece, and so this piece is kind of weird because it's one topic I could give 2 shits about, but then the other one is I'm really interested in. So I thought it was worth showing. Okay, 568. Here we go.
If they make it to the final, the girls will get $5,500 each. The blokes will get $69,000 each. How can anyone justify this, Sasha?
I can't.
No.
I mean, there's gender. I beg your pardon.
I can justify it.
How? Why?
Why? I tell you what, stars don't get paid more money because, a sport doesn't become interesting because the stars are paid more money. Stars get paid more money because the sport is interesting. Let me ask you this. How many of you guys on the panel know who our Australian Matildas are playing in the quarterfinals? No, because you don't care about it. Now, when you start to go and watch these women play the wonderful football they do, then they'll earn more money.
But I don't go to watch the men play football either.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people do. The Men's World Cup is one of the biggest money spinners on the planet. Women's football, even though at grassroots level, it's working really, really well, it's got a long way to go. The other thing, let me ask you this about sports equality. The top 10 fastest men of all time in terms of sprinters are all black, of African origin. Are you telling me that the white guys should say, hold on, we should be paid just as much as the black guys for sprinting? No, because they're not as fast.
Now, if they make
I
it to the
love
final,
that.
the girls
I don't even know if that's a legit argument. I'm not sure. I didn't think too deeply about that, if that's comparing apples and oranges, like genitalia versus skin color. But either way, I just love it that he worked in black dudes in there. That's it. Is there anything you guys want to say about that?
Nope.
Pretty perfect.
I just think it's always funny. It's around soccer too, that conversation. You know, no one's like, I work for the sewage system here, and the guy that I work next to is paid $1 more than me.
Right.
It's like, no, it's always these high profile, like, and it's always soccer for whatever fucking reason, but it's always like the executive makes more, the men make more as an executive. I mean, it's like, well, what the fuck about the bricklayers?
Right.
You know, what about the infrastructure workers? Nobody's calling for equality of pay between genders there. They don't even fucking talk about it.
I want to comment on that woman's hair, but I'll leave it alone.
I knew that haircut was triggering for you.
Yes, very triggering. 567. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time to just take your kids out of school. Go into your living room right now and take a sledgehammer and break your TV. Don't ever give your kid a fucking another device ever again, and then just pull them out of school. And I promise you, they will do better than if you keep them in school. Okay, here we go.
Mother from Rhode Island who was sued by the teachers union simply because I wanted to know what my kindergartner would be learning in school. And here's how this happened. I asked to see the curriculum, and my school told me I had to submit a public records request. The curriculum wasn't posted online and it wasn't available in a school district. Then I asked them if they were teaching gender theory, and they told me that they don't call children boys and girls, and they embed the values of gender identity into every classroom, including kindergarten, and they didn't want to answer any of my questions further. And when I did submit the public records request that they told me to submit, and I submitted hundreds because I had hundreds of questions, my school board then put my name on the agenda of a public school board meeting and held a public school board meeting to discuss suing me for submitting the request that they told me to submit. In a 5-hour-long school board meeting, they openly debated my moral character, my political motivations, and they really just tarred and feathered me for asking questions. They wanted to send a message to other parents that if you ask questions, they will come after you. And when that happened, then the teachers union, the largest teachers union in the country, the NEA, did file a lawsuit against me to bully me and harass me with frivolous litigation and to send a message to other parents that if you ask questions about public education, they will come after you. I am a mother from Rhode Island.
There's two things I want to tell you here real quick about this. You have to listen to this. Some of you are going to get this. Most of you are not going to get this. Most of you are going to be fixated on the fact that you shouldn't be introducing sexuality and these big topics to kids. And in that regard, it's wrong. You have to understand that there's a fucking way bigger picture here. And the reason why most people aren't going to get this is because they don't know the difference between reality and not reality either. When you convince a child that something like gender is right, sorry, take two. When you try to convince a child that something like gender really exists when it doesn't exist, you've started brainwashing your kid. That is, you are forcing a child to go to sleep. You're forcing them to be woke. You're forcing them to become a zombie when you introduce something that's not real, but you pretend that it's real, like gender. There is no gender in the outside world for them to objectify and make real. And so then they have to start creating this world in their head, but they won't know that they're doing it. And then what happens is you go inside your head and you get stuck there your whole fucking life. And you end up defending things that aren't real. You guys understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's like in principle what's wrong with religion too. Do you guys get that too? You're forcing people to make shit up in their head instead of giving them the tools to experience it themselves, or giving them the time to blossom to experience it. So I don't care what. I've come to the point that I don't care why you want to fight against this. Like if you're a fucking Christian, you realize this is complete insanity because it goes against God's will. I don't care. Like I'm trying to recruit anyone in the world to fight against these fucking idiots now. But what's really bad that's happening is your kid is being given a mental illness in school to believe something that's not real. Do not let them do that to your kid. They literally might as well be teaching in there, teaching your kid for a year that the Sasquatch is real. There is no such thing as gender. Do not, until someone's brain is so developed that they can tell the difference between reality and their thoughts, even if they're not accurate, the fact that they can at least think about that or create a possible distinction between the two. You do not be introducing these types of subjects to them. It's fucking nuts, let alone the fact that it's sexualizing your kids.
Isn't it crazy?
Hey, tons of people are. The second you tell a child that God exists, you've pushed a child into its head. Sorry. The second you tell a child that God exists, you've pushed a child into its head. You've begun building a wall of sleep. The second you do that, because it's an abstraction that you're demanding they believe in order to fit in with you because you believe it, but you don't know it. And so if you really want to get into it too, it's really convoluted and fucked up too, because then you're basically indoctrinating your kid and getting them to believe something that you're not even sure if is 100% true because you want to validate it for yourself. And if you did know it was 100% true, if you did know it, you wouldn't need them to believe it. It's twisted shit. But like at this point, I don't care. Like, fuck you. I'll recruit anyone and their fucking mom to fucking squash these fucking pedophiles. So I'm down with you guys. I'm down with you guys. What were we going to say, Sousa?
No, I was just thinking about, like, I just don't know enough about it to really say anything too meaningful, other than the fact that, like, it just seems really hard to create any change within any school systems as, like, a parent, even if, the majority of the parents might have to sway it one way or another. Like, I just wonder how much autonomy they actually have in the public school system. It seems like, from at least what we see in some of the stuff that I've talked to with some of the parents, that you have no autonomy. Your only option is pull your kid out and go to private school, and you can't afford it. Good fucking too bad. They're here.
Fucking start looking around. Go on fucking
or homeschool them, and if you
don't
go
find someone who'll help you do it. Put together like 10 parents together and figure something out. But get your kids out of that shit. Find some Christian organization. There's got to be some sort of Christian organization that's trying to fucking save kids. Is the same true for the Tooth Fairy and Santa? No, I don't think so. Because at the end game for Santa and the end game for Tooth Fairy is that it's just a joke. There's an end game to it. But if you really want to fucking introduce your kid to God, you have to do it through asking questions, or else they're going to be faking it. It's okay it's okay. They're going to be faking it. You don't want your kid to fake their relationship with God.
Now,
why not give them the tool? Why not give them the tools to cultivate it? And maybe a ton of you are. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I'm just thinking about, because you have really strong opinions on, like, who you put your kids in front of as far as, like, they're teaching them a certain subject, right? So if, like, you're, like, real critical of, like, the skateboarding teacher, and, like, you're real critical of tennis lessons, piano lessons, and all that type of stuff, and as you go through in your question, you're kind of judging these people's character, right? Like, how if I put my kid next to you,
like, the other parents care what they're learning from this. The parents send their kids to my skateboard instructor, and they care what they're learning about skateboarding. I don't give a fuck. That's
And
like
they're-
secondary to like, is that a good person my kid's around? Is that person into excellence? Or is my kid learning good traits for them?
Yeah, how do
If my kid doesn't learn how to fucking kickflip and I just paid him to skate with you all day, then I'm perfectly okay with that.
Right, because there's so much more to it than just the
Yeah.
subject that they're teaching, right? There's a lot of life
Yeah.
lessons in that. And
Yeah.
what's the one person that they're around the most out of all the instructors? How many hours a week is that? Like 3? Like they say the skateboard instructor like 3 times a week, so that they're
Probably
within
the
3 hours.
jiu-jitsu guys. So the jiu-jitsu guys is really, and I don't do jiu-jitsu, but you guys could tell me it's 4 to 1, meaning every hour you spend with a jiu-jitsu teacher is like 4 hours spending with someone else. It's fucking intimate.
Mhm.
This motherfucker, this man and this woman my kids spend basically every day with them in close physical proximity. Like, you know what I mean? Like this,
Very,
this
yeah,
fucking,
jiu-jitsu.
this
Yeah.
fucking,
They're gonna
this
lay on top of
fucking-
each other.
Yeah, this fucking giant man and this super fucking hot Asian girl come over to my fucking house and when they go to their studio, and my kids are like bodies are pressed and rolling and they're talking and they talk to each other like this, and then you do this and then you grab here, and they're whispering and they're laughing and then when they're done they sit around like and stare in each other's eyes, Indian style shit. It's fucking crazy. It's like a fucking ayahuasca ceremony every session. So it's more than 3 hours is what I'm saying. It's crazy shit.
Yeah, and so when we think about the public school system, your kids are going to be, in front of all those teachers. Some of them with the core classes, for a large chunk of the day for the whole entire week.
Yeah,
and as a parent,
I spent 7 times 5. I spent 35 hours a week staring at the same teacher every week. 35 hours just like this.
And I think in the public school system, unless something's changed, there's like parent night. So you get to see your kids, their teachers and stuff for like 1-2 hours in the evening towards the beginning of the school year. And then that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just, so there's literally like you're completely outsourcing and trusting the institution, not even the individuals, because you haven't even had enough to be around them to assess how they are or what type of values they're going to be bringing into your child's life through the school system.
Right.
So you would think that there would just be a different way. I mean, you have these things like Glassdoor for different employers that you work for. We have Yelp for different businesses that we go to, right? We have review systems on Amazon so we can look at products and determine what people are thinking about that to make judgment calls. But in the most important thing that we would all agree is going to be the future generation and how we shape them, how we shape their ideologies and how they behave with one another. There's zero autonomy and there's zero rating. And even if there was a rating system, we're like, hey, these guys are off the rocker over here. These guys are, you don't have a choice.
I never even thought of that 0 rating. You're right.
There's just no, like you could go to Glassdoor and I could be like, what's it like to work at Cross?
Hey, you know what the rating is? You either fit in or you don't.
You either
acquiesce to what they're saying, drink the fluoride water, go to the 49ers games, or you don't. That's the rating system. Who complies? It's compliance. It's a compliance competition.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Janelle Winston, not true. Raised by parents who know who God is and have seen so many people grow into a relationship with God, including myself and my husband. Fair enough. Yeah. And I defer to Janelle on that because I don't have that experience. I was speculating, but I'm just doing it the way I'm doing it. But if you found a fucking mode to do it or a way to do it, a method which she parent has for more than one generation, fucking kudos to you. I'm not here to tell you like I may ride the assault bike. I ain't hating on anyone who got the Echo bike. Yeah, and thank you, Janelle, for that. I appreciate what you're doing too, and I hope my kids and your kids cross path and they can live happy lives together. Olivia, I'm trying to fight this within our mental health care. Ooh. Audrey, as much as I love bodies, I do not want to put mine on a stranger. We have to have a convo at least first. Yeah, right. I know, and that's the thing. I appreciate the fact that my boys, especially Avi, has been very in the first year, very conservative about wanting to let anyone touch him or do any of that. But then, but now it's like 3 or 4 years in, and they know.
He also knows the difference between the type of touching.
Right. Exactly.
Which is pretty important, right?
Yeah, and you have to remember, like, 2 of these sessions happen every day at my house.
In your living room?
Yeah, in my living room. And when I mean two sessions, I mean 2 per kid. So 6 sessions happen in my house. we have a jiu-jitsu room, and then the other 15 sessions amongst 3 kids happen in a group, and my wife and I are always there. Always. Do all the parents do that? No, but I'm always there. So okay. Okay, so basically that's fucked what happened to that lady. She just wanted to know what was happening in her kid's kindergarten class, and they fucking.
Yeah, that's what got me thinking, because that's the most basic, right? The most basic thing they could do is send you the curriculum and be like, here's what we're going to be going over the year. Here's the expectation from you. Here's the expectation from your kid. Here's what you could expect from us. Crazy.
566 energy transfer. This is just a phenomenal transfer of energy right here. We're gonna probably watch this like 5 times. So there's no, because I got some questions. Let me just ask some of the questions first, and then you guys can look and help me answer them. One, when this guy impacts, does he go unconscious? Does her head hit his head? Because he goes into kind of like a rigor mortis, the biker. And then second, look how hard he's pedaling, and then stops and hits her. And 2, what the fuck was 3? What the fuck was she thinking? Okay, let's. This is just fucking nuts. But an insane transfer of energy from the bike rider to the pedestrian.
Oh, fuck.
Look how hard he's pedaling.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Oh, I think he flinches right before he hits her, too. He does.
Oh,
Yeah,
does he
he
flinch,
does.
or does his helmet hit her?
He opens his mouth.
Yeah,
He sees her and screams.
He's like, shit.
Oh, damn.
Hey, that's the worst possible time. He just put so much energy into that bike. Look how much energy he's putting into it.
Dude,
Damn.
she goes down right on her fucking head. Boom.
And then rolls. She stops and then rolls.
Yeah. She slides. She doesn't stop. She hits, slides, then rolls.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think the reason why she was sliding was there wasn't enough like surface area contact, because she was like on her head and her shoulders slid. Then when the rest of her body hit, then she rolled. Slide.
Okay, so they're both unconscious. That's what Jeff says. Okay, they're both out. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it for sure.
Okay.
Damn.
That's bad, dude.
One of my professors is a professional triathlete, like Ironman triathlete.
Yeah.
And he just got into an accident over the weekend. Oh, damn, it's right there. And the guy like hit him and then just ran away. Like didn't even go check to see if he was okay. And he was going like 40 miles an hour down a.
Oh, hey, was it a pedestrian that hit him?
No, it was another racer.
Wow.
He just hit him and then like didn't stop, just kept going. So this guy's a professional, and the guy that hit him is an age group athlete, and that's not a professional. He's just like out there for funsies. But this guy was like trying to make money off the race.
Damn.
Here we go. So the full clip shows that a man crossed first, then the woman was following. Oh, shit.
Yeah, she like looked past him. Like it looks like she's looking at him. She's looking past him.
Every good woman. Can you imagine if you led your wife into that mess? If you did that. Jake Chapman, who is our ladies and gentlemen, I present you Jake Chapman, our correspondent at the Isle of Man this week. There's no other show in the space that is a correspondent. Thank you. Yes, I'm pronouncing the word wrong. Okay, thank you. From headquarters is talking to me in my ear right now. Correspondent Jake Chapman, our correspondent from, the Isle of Man. Yes, which is the most dangerous race in the world, is the TT Isle of Man. And Jake is saying, okay, yeah, I hear you, Jake. Okay. Jake is saying nobody runs out in front of the bikes at the TT. There you go.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. Jake, go ahead. I'm going to let you go now, Jake. Thank you for your insight. Shut the fuck up. Let him go. Jake, I know you're having a busy weekend. I appreciate you taking the time to write in the chat. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. God bless you. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm doing? Have you seen any of this shit that they're trying to do over there?
Yeah.
Fucking goofballs.
Professional.
Yeah. Like you just heard someone on CNN say that once, so you're gonna say it. I can tell it's very windy there. Thank you for stepping outside and getting cold for us. We appreciate everyone here appreciates you. Have a great Easter week. Thank you, Jake.
It reminds me of like the start of the podcast I used to do years back.
What did you say?
Just shit like that. I mean, I did have a correspondent, but it'd be like, hello, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Matt, and we're going to get right into it.
I'm your host, Matthew Souza. My friends call me Matt. Hey, Jake, in all honesty, in all seriousness, could we send you a link and you sometime this week, and like you're just standing by the course and we're talking to you on the phone as these fucking dudes fly by, these maniacs fly by?
Well, that'd be awesome.
And if so, could you DM me, Souza, and Caleb separately with your phone number, and then I could just start texting you? That'd be crazy. I'd even go on a show at any time you wanted to see that. That'd be fucking nuts. I'd like to figure out what the fuck you're doing there too. Fucking maniac. Don't get killed. Then we'd only have 194 listeners.
Uh-oh. This is the first week of June. All right.
Oh, so you just live there? Okay. Are you just what are you doing there? I thought you were setting up or something. Anyway, okay. Let's talk. Will you get my DM so I can start texting you? Do you text or do we got to WhatsApp you because you're a foreigner? God, I hate that. Although I've been Hiller got me kind of hooked on WhatsApp a little bit. Okay, so energy transfer. Okay, and then this one's important too. 565. I know most of you know this also, but the Jews really do control everything, and now we have proof of it. Here is video evidence of the Jews control everything, and that's okay. WhatsApp, you're a WhatsApp dude. Okay,
we knew it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
They control the fucking country.
Oh, interesting.
They control Wall Street. They control the banks. They control Hollywood. Every fucking building in New York City is owned by Jews.
Hey, I'm Jewish.
I don't give a fuck.
You got to get out of here. I control everything. You got to go.
I'm not going no fucking way.
You got to go. I'm Jewish. But I control everything. So you got to go. You got to go. I'm just saying it. So there you have it. Jews control everything. I was able to clear the square there. I just commanded him to leave, and he left.
I commanded him to leave, and he left. I think that's real. I think that's a real incident.
It seems like it's real, yeah.
And I suspect that guy is Jewish.
And
as funny as it is, that's actually real evidence that Jews control everything.
Oh,
as absurd as it is,
there it is. We saw it firsthand.
You saw it. I mean, you can't. Like, if you had to testify in court, we'd be like, and we do have proof that this guy is Jewish. So let's just assume that. Did he appear to be in control of the situation? Well, yes, Your Honor. He told the angry New Yorker with the mask on to leave, and he left. So as far as and he told him he was. I mean, it's just crazy.
That's hilarious.
All right. Seen any anti-Jew hate ads lately? I've never seen any anti-Jew shit ever. I don't even understand the anti-Jew shit. I don't even. They're just white people. Like I don't even.
Mike says, "Well, the protester made his point."
I know. It's like, watch this. You can control me.
That's just like walking away. Like, see, I told you. I'm getting out of here.
It's like if you heard like 3 8th graders like talking, and someone rode by on, let's say, like I don't just trying to think of something. If you just heard an 8th grader refer to something as gay, you'd be like, oh my God, that's so gay. And then you would be like, that's homophobic. And it's like, no, it's not. That person doesn't even know what they're saying. Like, they're just in 8th grade. It's just the Jew thing is like that too. If someone's like, I got Jewed, it's like, those people don't even know what they're saying. It's just become part of the fucking vernacular.
Right. Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hear that very often, but if I did hear that, I'm not like, wow, that person's anti-Semitic.
That shit busted.
Yeah. And like, what if the Jews do control everything? What if it just so happened? Like, I know that all the dry cleaning services that I've ever been in are controlled by Asians. I'm not like carrying a sign, fuck the Asians. They control the clothes cleaning business. I mean, so what if they control? I don't understand. Like, yeah, I get, I'm going to Jew you down. Yeah. No, I'm going to Jew you down. Oh, here. Wow. Oh, anybody see the anti-Jewish hate commercials last night? Oh, anti-Jewish hate, meaning like don't hate Jews. Yeah, that's going to be the worst thing for Jews.
That's going to make
like no one even knows to hate Jews until you tell them stop hate. It's the same thing with Asian hate. Actually, I never hated any of you until I saw that commercial.
No, I definitely hate you.
Yeah, now I'm definitely like, okay, fuck you. It's just black people doing it. Don't blame me and you. Now I hate both of you.
I need some commercials on here for like my anti-gray spot on my beard. I don't want anybody to talk about the gray spot on my beard. So we need to run some commercials so they
definitely don't. I just noticed your gray spot on your beard. Did you know you have gray?
How'd you notice that? I just said not to notice that. What do you?
I didn't even notice that. That's
crazy. Oh,
how did I not notice that?
You mean you told me it backfired? I thought I was.
That's a great example.
I thought I was saving it. Shit.
No, you're gonna Armenian me down. I'm gonna Armenian my wife down in here when I get up the show.
God, that example works so good that you see what I did there? I threw myself on the grenade. I threw myself
for the show.
Martyr.
Now I have to end on a high note. I have to go.
Jay Sizzle, my wife's a Jew by blood and definitely Jews people out of money. Well, there you go. All right.
All donations to the show will go to my beard dye. Thank you very much.
My bladder is going to explode anyway.
Okay.
Oh, CrossFit Mayhem is doing the occupational games. Holy shit.
I was going to go back and I'm trying to remember what show I said, because when I said CrossFit put that down, that created a huge opportunity for somebody. And then like whatever, a week later or something, they came out. So obviously they were already on top of that and saw that opportunity.
No, they were watching the show.
Yes, I knew it. It's Angela's also got the gray spot on his beard, so we had to stick together.
And he's got a patch on his head.
Let's not get crazy.
Okay, fine. Guys, thank you. There will be 2 Frisbee shows in the next 5 or 6 days. We spoke to Brian Friend. It sounds like he's fired up to do anywhere from 4 to 14 shows in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully we get a lot of fun stuff with Brian, worldwide rankings, Frisbee shows. I know Caleb loves those.
Big fan.
And we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks for hanging out for all 3 hours. You guys are wonderful. And go red pill someone today. All right.